Hey everyone, it's Travis Wright. Real quick, before we get into this episode, I just wanted to let you know there's a GoFundMe happening right now. Don't worry, the podcast isn't in trouble. That's still going to be happening no matter what. There are just some projects I would like to accomplish in 2026. Your funding would help me accomplish them quicker and at a higher production value. And so really that's what I'm asking you to do is help me fund some of the things that I can record and put out there in the world for you to watch. So if you would like to donate, you can go to the show notes of this podcast. There will be a link there. You can also go to the bio of my Instagram. There will be a link there as well. We've already had a couple $1,000s raised. I'm greatly appreciative of that. Please do not feel like I'm asking you to donate some large amount. Anything will do. $1, $5, $10. Everything adds up, and I will appreciate any amount that you consider donating. I also just wanted to very quickly thank the people that have donated so far in hopes that maybe it'll inspire some more people to donate and keep this momentum going. So thank you. William Hale, Emily Griefer, Christopher Olson, David Talley, Cheyenne Jahani, Zoltan Kazis, Ryan Taylor, Waldemar Berenger, Larson Hanks, Arun Rama, Chandler Cooper, John Freeman, Akash Gandalia, Alexandria Barrios, Kendrick Harris, Roy Castillo, Rob Ross, Rosie Caruth, Ty Cave, Josie Matwick, Sean Kay, Jonathan Stringer, Nia Shabazi, Teresa Barkas, Trey Mack, Stephanie Wells, and Peter Young. Of course, there's also several of you who are anonymous and decided to donate an amount without taking any of the glory of having your name listed. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. You are going to help me achieve my goals, and I hope it inspires a few more of you to throw a couple dollars my way. I promise you, we're going to bring you some things in 2026 that are going to be well worth your money and well worth your time. Thank you so much to all of you that have donated. Thank you to anyone considering donating right now, and enjoy the episode. The I'm a Fan of podcast, music, comedy, and more. Danny Tran.
Travis, thanks for having me, man.
Of course, man. You said you got big headlining shows coming up this year, and you want to talk about them. So I was like, bring it on. Let's go.
Man,
Let's get it out of the way now so people can go check it out.
Sure.
What's coming up?
I'm headlining in Edmond, Oklahoma in February 26th. Mm-hmm. I'm doing April 25th in Dallas, Texas. And then I'm doing Waco in July. And then Houston, I'm doing August 8th for that one. So,
wow. Where's the Oklahoma show at?
It's Frenzy Brewing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Dallas is where?
Stomping Ground Comedy Theater.
That's right, Stomping Ground. Mm-hmm. I did a little recording with Ralph Barbosa there a long time ago.
Really?
Yeah. Early in the podcast, we did an episode with him, and I was mixing in clips of stand-up to get people to get a sense of your style, and it was before everything happened to him. And the show there, there was probably, I don't remember what happened with that show. Something about it was very last minute put together. I can't remember what it was. And it wasn't a good representation of what Stomping Ground is. They put on good shows. But there was 10 people in the crowd.
Sure.
But it was fun listening to him getting 10 people to lock in on that.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was audio only, and it was those old jokes he had, those had turned into some better material, and then he trashed some other ones too. And it was fun to see, because I think a couple of them made it onto some of his real recordings that he did on HBO and Netflix and stuff. Yeah. So I can't remember which one, but yeah, Stomping Ground's an interesting place. I love that green room that they have.
Yeah.
I know the audience won't get to see that.
It's
but
ginormous.
Huge, and it's just behind this big brick wall.
Yeah. The main thing was they don't have a 2-item minimum for the venue.
Are they still BYOB?
Yeah, BYOB, nonprofit. Because a every time I pitched a venue, they're like, all right, $20 tickets, 2-item minimum, paid parking. And I'm like, I'm a working man. I know how much $1's worth, And it's like, I want to pay to see Danny, but not like $50, $60.
Yeah,
so this was a kind of meet me in the middle kind of situation. So
that'll be fun, man.
I like them.
Headlining. How much have you headlined?
I've headlined a lot of bar shows with 30, but now I'm doing 45 in this run, which I'm very excited about.
That is exciting, man. Stretching your legs.
Yeah,
you wouldn't think, as somebody who doesn't do comedy, I wouldn't think 15 minutes more would be such a big difference. But then the more of you guys that I talk to, it seems like another 15 is just so much work.
It's like if you bench press 200 pounds and you add 50% on top of that. So you go from 30 to 45. So it's now you're benching 300. It's like you got to change your game plan of how to hit that 300 number. So
yeah. Did you start a traditional way? I can't remember if we talked about this last time, but did you start a traditional way of, host, feature, or what was your path again? Because I'm trying to understand how much time did you have to build 30 to 45 minutes?
Yeah. It's been almost 6 years now. I started in Peoria, Illinois as a guest spot guy, and then didn't host too much there. I wasn't clean at that point. Then I moved to Atlanta, Georgia, became clean, became a really, valuable host of the scene. Then moved to Dallas, started featuring a lot more. So it's been 2 years in every stage, 2 years of hosting, 2 years of featuring.
Yeah, so you've kind of had a more traditional. So you've got 45 minutes of material.
I think so.
You probably got more than that. You're just deciding which 45 you actually want to use.
Yeah, and it's like you got to streamline it because it's not just like I'm watching specials now with like a different like viewpoint. Like, how do they make it a good listen the whole way through?
Yeah.
So it's not just 45 banger non sequitur jokes. Like, I'm trying to like have like a little through line, have themes to each conversation I have. So it's different. It's different for sure.
Yeah, I think the only person that I can think of that does the non sequitur stuff would be Anthony Jeselnik.
Yeah.
And it feels more difficult now that I know how hard it is for y'all to write material.
yeah.
You know, now that I know that he doesn't have, okay, when I finish this, it leads right into that and right into that he could just forget the next joke and it could just mess it all up.
Yeah. Because there is an order to it.
Yeah.
He does have an order to it where it's like some jokes are harsher. You can't open with that. So it's like, yeah, there's definitely some strategy there.
Yeah.
It's hard to memorize for sure.
Well, you know how, I mean, the pros do it with, they'll record 4 shows.
Yeah.
So if something doesn't work, they're like, okay, pull that out and then we'll splice this. And I get why they do that. This was their life's work. And I'm over here judging on the sidelines. I'm like, it should just be one take.
I like the one take.
It should
thing.
just be one take.
Yeah.
But again, your career is riding on it. So I understand, but maybe I'm being a little too judgy. I don't know.
These you can tell when they split clips though with certain crowds. Like you can tell it's like a different sounding laugh. I'm like, okay, that's just.
I do wonder. I'm not going to accuse anybody. I've heard some very professional comics who I know for a fact are incredibly funny. Okay, so I'm not trying to say they're not. But I swear when I watch some of these specials, it's a laugh track.
It's crazy.
It's just like that laughter is too perfect.
Yeah.
Of when it started, how it swelled, and how it fell and stopped. That can't be, because how many shows have you been at now? There's always the kooky laughs and the weird things, and these specials don't have that.
Yeah, all my clips, there's always someone laughing at the setup. Always some person chuckling through at the setup. It's like, you don't understand comedy, but you're here in the audience, whatever.
Yeah.
And that's like a 50-person crowd.
Yeah.
Guarantee these people at specials, they're like, I don't know, it's a lot of conspiracy stuff.
Well, in music, they do something like that where you come in to play drums, and your drum kit's pretty good. But what they'll do is they'll just replace each hit on your drum. Like, you'll play the drums, but each hit will be replaced with a digital version that sounds better.
You lip sync it.
You played it. It's you playing, but it wasn't the actual sound necessarily.
Oh, that's crazy.
They'll change the sound later. Now, a lot of people are purist and they don't want to do that.
Right, yeah.
But so I wonder how many big name specials. I mean, because if I found out Bill Burr, I'm not saying he did, but if I'd found out Bill Burr had a laugh track on his specials because there was some drunk person in the audience and kept ruining it. I mean, I wouldn't think he's less funny, but I just wonder how many of them are.
Keep it in. It's a real.
I think keep it in. Yeah. I think that's a moment of your thing. Well, we just did. You were on Pazvar's recording that's going to come out sometime this year, and there are just there's several people in the crowd that you hear where the laugh is just recognizable, and you're like, okay, there's that person again, whoever that is.
Yep.
And I don't know, the thought of, I don't know how to record it without catching those people.
Right, you have to catch them. There's always someone burping too. At Pazvar's thing, there's someone burping. I'm like, oh, so you're telling me an audience of like 10,000 people had no one burping for this special recording? Like, you're telling me they're all etiquette place LA people? There's no way.
Yeah, and there's weird things that come up that, like somebody's laugh. Somebody was near the microphone, and their laugh was like.
That's that drum kit you're talking about.
Yeah, and for a minute I thought I was going crazy when I was like, what is that? And you try your best to kind of, because you don't want that to be the focus, obviously.
Of course.
But then you're just thinking, who's this crazy person whose laugh isn't ha ha ha? What was that?
Yeah.
So I don't know how. I mean, maybe it's just because you have 5,000 people in the audience, and you don't have to. I don't know. It all blends, maybe, but but there's always an empty drop.
Always.
Where someone's just like, woo.
Always. Yeah. Always.
Yeah. What has been your wildest? Have you ever heard like just a crazy laugh or somebody? I mean, not like a true heckler. You know, like the nice people who aren't trying to disrupt the show, but they're throwing it off.
Man, my recent clip, there's a lady. I was in Austin for this clip at like comedy festivals. It was a hot crowd, juiced up alt show. Always like the screaming white woman laugh is so awesome.
What do you mean?
Like they're not laughing. They're just like, ah, like they're just screaming. And I'm like, this is great. Like it sounds like you're killing, but it's like one crazy drunk lady in the corner. I'm like, I'll take it. Like, that's.
Yeah, the white lady. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Born and raised in Texas. I've heard that.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
And they always say like, oh, you got me in stitches, or like, oh, he's a gag. Like it's like that kind of laugh.
You ever heard the Southern lady, not necessarily a white woman, but like a Southern woman, where they're like the
No, I
like almost like, oh my.
no. I perform in the 21st century. I haven't heard that yet.
I have relatives that's what they do when they hear like a joke that like gets them, or maybe it's like a little racy or something.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, whoa.
Clutch their
like,
pearls.
They are, and it's almost like they'll get their shirt and they're like cooling themselves down.
Oh, I love it when it's ever like a tense moment. I love doing this. I'm like, oh, it's kind of hot.
Yeah.
That's like it's just such a cartoonish act out.
Oh my god, do you know Jeremiah Watkins?
Yeah.
When he was still on Kill Tony before they had moved to Austin.
Mm-hmm.
The show had come through Fort Worth, so it was still Jeremiah Watkins, Joel Jimenez in the band, and then it was Tony Hinchcliffe and Red Band. It was a much smaller setup, and they were at the Hyenas Fort Worth. And at that point, the band members would always come out as different characters because he's kind of an improv guy as well as stand up. And he came out as an 80s comic. And it was cheesy, like he had big tie, jacket.
Yeah.
And he was doing these gags where, you're lowering the mic stand and raising. You're like, whoa.
That's awesome.
Like all the stuff. And it was so well done. Like he was literally so good at it that I'm not even laughing at the irony of it. I'm like, it's actually just funny now.
Yeah.
I think I might have laughed at 80s comics in the 80s.
That's
now
awesome,
that I see
dude.
it.
Yeah.
But yeah. So did you want to talk about breaking the news of your new goal?
Oh yeah,
Full-time comedy.
I'm gonna try to be full-time comic next year.
That's awesome. I mean, we talked about it a little bit. Like you got to try, but it's still super scary.
It's crazy. I think like a sequence of events led to this, where it's like this year I'm a headline locally. Like I got Houston, Waco. A lot of show bookers are letting me headline because like I featured good work for them. So I vocalized this leap. Now everyone's trying to help me get there. So I like it. And then next year I'm gonna try to take it on the road with all the festivals I've done. Try to like I've never really asked for favors from these other markets, but now it's like, give me a one-nighter in like Peoria. Let me see how I do.
What's the logic behind trying to headline here locally for this year, and then like why not try to headline outside of here in 2026 as well?
I don't really want to learn the marketing because the more I talk to headliners doing it at my level, they have like meta pixel ads. Yeah, it's like there's so much to learn about that. Where like you can really dial in like how to convert like a warm lead to like an outside ticket sale, and it's like I want to master that in my local Texas scene first, and then scale it up to other markets, so.
Is a little bit of it the fear, too, of just having a good headliner set? I mean, do you feel like you're going to build it locally before you take it out?
Yeah, I think I definitely have an act right now, but I want to just really, polish it up. And then when I headline on the road, I can make fans for life there because it'd be like my best 45, like 7 years into comedy. Yeah. So it's like that's like my first impression. I'm still an old-fashioned first impression kind of guy. So
first impressions are good. I think people underestimate first impressions a lot. Yeah. Especially performers. I don't think you need to dress up to be on stage. That you don't necessarily need to wear really nice things, but I think you should still really consider how you're presenting yourself. Yeah. And so many people. I don't know have you ever heard the rules about like you never wear shorts, those types of things?
I agree with those rules. Yeah.
I don't know what I think about them, but I think if you're going to be a person that wears shorts, it's got to really be you've got to have a personality that matches that so well that it doesn't take anyone out of the moment. Right. And most people probably aren't.
Of course, yeah. I started in Peoria, Illinois, where like Bob and Tom, the radio show.
No, I don't think I've heard of that.
So back in the day, that was like Midwest Joe Rogan. Oh, Bob and Tom show. These guys would make careers. Like, and if you did well in Bob and Tom show, you can like do the circuit of like Midwest Funny Bones, Dayton, Ohio's, and all that. So I'd open a lot of headliners like there, very old fashioned guys. They would say like, keep your keys out of your pocket. Don't have any
just
bulges.
So you don't even have the bulge in the pocket.
No bulge, They
would lose their mind with the cell phones in pockets.
Yeah, I agree.
That would blow them away.
The cell phone on the stool, they would like cause a riot. Like, I see so many people like unprofessional looking at their set list on their phone. I'm like, dude, you knew this was going to happen all day. Why are you now looking at your set list? Yeah,
and then, I don't know, have you seen anyone yet who does, the boomer thing where they look at their phone for a moment and they don't know the lights on stage on their phone?
Oh, no.
So they're like lifting up the phone to check their set, but it's also the lights on the phone. It's like, oh my God.
Oh, that's hilarious.
This is just a double whammy of weirdness. I mean, because the Notebook used to bother me too. If I'm watching you at an open mic, or even a bar show where you're trying some things, sure, fine. Notebook, phone, whatever you want. But when you're at a real stage, Hyenas, improv, stages that this could help you in your career right now. And you bust out the Notebook or the phone, and you're like, let's see.
I know.
Let's see. It's like, that's how you prepared? Like, this was a real ticket that cost,
I
I'm
know.
going to leave out of here tonight spending $80.
Easily.
And you're going, what next?
I have a
What
theory.
next?
Those comics that do that don't work a day job, or like they live with their parents. Like they haven't had to like get approved for a mortgage, like self-fund themselves. Because like I respect the dollar way more now, like I don't. It's like, dude, these are like hard-earned money. It's tough,
I think that's one of the biggest problems in our society, our world, at least American culture right now, is, businesses are not appreciating the dollar.
Oh, yeah.
In terms
Sure.
of what they're asking customers to spend.
Right.
It starts with tip culture is out of control.
It's crazy.
Out of control. When
Yeah.
people are going like, you got to leave 30%.
It's crazy.
It's like, well, and I used to wait tables. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
30%. It's like, I tip really well, but you saying 30% is the new 10, 15, 20, whatever, that's wild. Because you also are some of the worst servers I've ever seen.
It's insane.
It's not like the service industry has improved significantly.
No.
If anything, after COVID, it got much worse.
Way worse.
So, that type of stuff. And then just, it's like I told you, my truck got stolen. So
Yeah,
we're
man.
looking at cars now. And I don't want a car payment. I don't want a new car.
I know.
Even if I had the $70,000 for a new truck,
I know.
I can't spend that and go to sleep at night.
No way.
To know that, like I said, I look at reasonable brands. I'm looking at like a Toyota.
Right, yeah.
And, the Toyota that got stolen was a Tacoma.
Mm-hmm.
So when I bought it in 2017, it was $43,000. And I was embarrassed to tell people I spent that much. I was like,
Yeah.
They're like, how much? I was like, I don't want to talk about money,
Yeah.
And now that seems like a steal because
That's a
now
Camry
that
now.
same truck is like $65,000.
Easily.
And it's like, hold on, this is a mid-size Toyota truck.
Mm-hmm.
Toyota.
I know.
And we're inching towards $100,000 now.
I know.
That's insane. And then the amount of people when you're, you say something like, like $100 feels like the new 20, right? It feels like it's hard to go places and it not rack up close to
know.
$100. And they're like, well, yeah, but I mean, it's just like $100.
No, dude.
And you're like, well, may I have $100 from you right now?
Seriously.
And if the answer is not, yeah, absolutely, then $100 still means something.
Yeah, it's a day's worth of work.
And we should maybe consider that everything is a little overpriced and out of hand right now. But so like with the comedy show too, I mean, I don't think a lot of maybe more inexperienced comics are appreciating that if they're coming to even your small show, they're not getting out for under, $35 probably.
Exactly. I was very deliberate with like the venues I picked to let me headline, like Stomping Ground, no 2 out of minimum. The Houston headlining show, it's my hometown, and I was going to rent out a venue space, and then BYOB, and it's a $20 tickets, but I'm eating the fees.
Right.
Because like people are texting me like, dude, once my paycheck hits, I'm gonna buy a ticket. And I'm like, dude, if we're cutting margins that close, I don't want you spending anything on food. Like, just come to the show, have a good time, $15, don't even worry about it.
But 15, 20, 30, that's still not a problem. As long as when I sit down, I feel like, oh, all of these comics, they came prepared, they understood. Now I feel like my money is well spent.
Yeah.
But, when they hop up there and they're like, all right, so
Yeah.
crazy stuff in the news, right?
Yeah. Oh, when they start talking it, like they don't have any like material. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
like these people worked all day. They just want to sit here and watch something. Like imagine your TV asks you like, so what'd you do today?
Yeah.
What'd you do for vacation last week? It's like, dude, give me a break.
Who do you think knocks that out of the park the most for you? That you take inspiration from when you're thinking, okay, I'm going to come in professional. It can be somebody famous, it can be somebody local.
Yeah.
But who's someone you see doing that where you think, that's how you do it and I got to get there?
What I'm striving for is like Ali Sadiq, if you know him.
Yeah, very well.
Because he did like, so I knew him from like Atlanta. Like he headlined the weekend there.
Yeah.
6 different shows, 6 different hours.
Really?
Swear.
I knew he had a lot of material because he released like 3 specials in a year or something, didn't he?
But I want to hit like that mark where it's like, dude, you got to see every show he's in town. Like, that's how you make it, So
How do you even remember 6 hours of material?
I have a theory, like maybe it's not like verbatim jokes he has, but it's like stories where he knows how to get out of it very strong. And you could kind of like, you've chops over the years. You could kind of like,
Sure.
like ham it up a little bit in the middle, but then still close strong, and that's considered a bit. And he does it very well. He doesn't really have to ham it up. He has very good material.
But that's still crazy. That's still 6 hours worth of, okay, maybe I'll go here.
Strongs, yeah.
And intentionally trying not to repeat those things from the previous show. Yeah.
It's very tough. A lot of people, when they make these long sets, the biggest downfall I see is they do the time, but they lose the audience's trust midway through. Because you have like a stretch like 5 minutes, like mediocre endings. So now they don't trust you anymore to like buy into the next premise.
Yeah. Did, when you were on that run with Ali Sadiq, and he was doing 6 shows like that, Did you notice if fans were buying tickets to multiple shows?
So I didn't see it live. It was it was all word of mouth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay,
it was all word of mouth.
I'd be curious if people knew that about him and bought tickets to 2 or 3 shows.
People do that, yeah. My friend in Dallas, he recorded 2 different specials on the same weekend.
Wow.
Yeah, and my friend saw like both shows. He was like, yeah, these are different hours.
He recorded those here in Dallas?
Mm-hmm.
Where did he record?
Majestic Theater.
Wow, what a beautiful spot.
It's actually stopping ground. He's opening for me.
Well, yeah.
That'd be awesome.
We're trying to help him out.
Yeah. Give a local guy a chance, you know.
The petty things that are just the frugal part of my nature. You know, it's like stopping around when I think of those places. It's like, oh, you know what else is great? Free parking.
Free parking. No, free non-parallel parking.
Yeah. Free parking in a lot that doesn't feel sketchy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's those little things. Because again, you know, if you go down to area like Deep Ellum, which is great, it's fine. But it's like, you know, before you even walk in the door now, you're hitting $20
easily,
you
you're worried about your cars getting broken into. Yeah.
So you haven't had a drink. You haven't sat down to laugh at a joke.
Right.
You've just bought tickets and paid for parking. It's like, cool, we're out about $50 now. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Already. Haven't done anything.
Yeah.
You know?
When I first moved here, I was driving down and I told my wife, like, it feels like a nightmare in Deep Ellum. And I look at the street sign, it says Elm Street. I'm like, you can't make this up. Like, this feels like a horror movie.
It's how long have y'all been here now?
A year and a half.
Year and a half, yeah.
A year and a half.
Deep Ellum goes through waves. So I've been going down there since I was 16. I'm 40 now. And it just goes in waves of, you know, it's kind of like a dead place that feels a little dangerous, and then it starts picking up, and it's really great. It's really fun, and then it feels like an awesome place that's kind of dangerous and weird, and it falls back down. And I've seen this would probably be kind of maybe the third wave of that I've seen. But the difference now is this is the first time that, excuse me, the first time that I know of that big developers are coming in and building, you know, huge apartment buildings.
Yeah.
So it's becoming an area where more people are actually living in, where it used to be an area you just went to.
Oh, right on. Cool,
So I don't know if now it's going to stay, because now there are people, that's their home. You know, they're not.
Yeah.
Some people aren't even just renting; people are buying condos and living down there.
Yeah.
But it's still definitely, you know, actually, I had an interview with somebody on here. We didn't release it because it got weird.
Really?
After the interview, it got very weird. They were part of a group that was like I don't want to say too much because I don't want to.
This is
throw them under the
awesome.
bus.
Yeah.
But it was a group that was trying to intentionally do things to benefit Deep Ellum. Okay, and it was a bigger organization. They have employees and stuff, and so we were talking about those things, and it feels like a lot of the Deep Ellum people that are involved try to very much be like, oh, no, like it's totally safe. Like nothing ever happens down here. And it's like, well,
yeah.
I mean, I know, but it's like, I think we could all just be more honest about like, what are we trying to do?
Yeah.
You know, and the interview went good. I wish we could have released it. It was after the fact, something came up where they're like, hey, something's going on with our company with something else. So let's,
Oh, wow.
They were like, you can release it, but don't involve us with it. And I was like, well, no, I'm not going to do that.
How's that going to work?
I was like, well, what is it? They're like, we can't talk about it.
You're going to blur out their faces like
Yeah, I was like, I don't know how this makes sense to you, but
Yeah.
and if you're not going to give me any details, then I'm not going to release it at
That's
all.
hilarious.
But I've noticed that with the Deep Ellum crowd, there are very few people who acknowledge that. Yeah, this is one of those busy places like 6th Street in Austin, or it's like Broadway in Tennessee or Nashville. It's like, yeah, like overall pretty good, but there are definitely some things you got to watch out for. Let's not be, you know.
I'm speed walking on
We
Deep
could
Ellum.
always be improving things.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm always doing a light jog from my car to the venue. I'm never walking peacefully, you know?
Now that my truck has been stolen too, I don't know how I'm ever going to park another truck, because it wasn't even stolen in Deep Ellum.
Right.
But I'm just thinking now, like, now people steal things. Like,
People steal things,
where am I
yeah.
going to park this?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. But
I pay to park on broken glass every time. I'm paying my hard-earned money to go to Deep Ellum. Like, I'm parking next to some stray cat. There's like a broken windshield. Like, yeah, it's $10 is worth it, you know?
Man, when we first started going down there, it was just the friendly homeless people. It wasn't anything too crazy, you know. And there were your rough areas, but you knew kind of where to avoid. I did get swindled down there, though. I remember I was pulling in to park. My wife and I were actually like dating at the time, you know. So we're coming down to see a concert at a venue that's not there anymore. And we're pulling into one of the paid parking lots, and a dude comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, you guys just down here for the night?" I'm like, yeah. He's like, "Okay, it's just $5." I was like, "All right." He takes the $5 and leaves. And I was like, "Do I need a ticket or anything?" Like, you know, and she's, you know, my wife, my girlfriend at the time was like, "I don't think he works for the thing." I was like, well, "No, he came. Why would he do that?" You know, I'm so naive. I'm from a small town around here. Yeah. And then, sure enough, I realized that's what it was. And then I'm so like, I'm so green and just, you know, innocent that I like call 911 about it. I'm like, someone stole from me.
That's hilarious.
And they're like, sir, that's not theft. It's a swindle. And like, you gave them the money. So it's always had kind of that stuff, but that never felt like I was worried I was going to get stabbed.
Yeah. Was he wearing a high vis at least? Like, did he look credible?
Now I would spot it a mile away and be like, no way, dude. No, back then he probably no high vis. I'm also just, back then I was more, it's like in your teenage years, I'm from a small town. You're trying not to be, like, you're trying to break away from this conservative culture you've been raised in this small town. Like, I'm not going to be like that, you know? And so I'm hitting that phase where the music I'm listening to, all this stuff, it's like, I'm a more open-minded person. Like, people are good and, and like, hey, just because he looks rough around the edges doesn't mean, And it's like, no, he looks exactly like the kind of person who would swindle me out of money.
Yes.
Like, now
he was shirtless.
Yeah, now I spotted a mile away. It's like, he had no shoes. And, but then like it went through a wave shortly after that, a couple years later. It's like one of my study partners in college. We had a study group going on and she had missed, a couple weeks and no communication. We're like, that's really weird. And she came back and she's in a sling. And she's like, hey, so sorry I missed the study group. She's like, I got shot.
What?
Yeah. And we were like, yeah, that's okay to miss the group.
Yeah.
The story she gave us is her and her girlfriend were going down to Deep Ellum to see a concert. Someone came up to mug them. So they did the whole, like, absolutely take everything. Please don't hurt us, and then they shot anyway.
What?
And it went through her elbow and it went through some area of her side and luckily missed important things somehow.
Why'd they shoot anyways?
Still got shot.
Yeah.
And they're like, we gave them the wallets. We didn't argue. We didn't do nothing.
Crazy.
So either they were really lying about it or, but either way, they got shot in Deep Ellum. So it does go through these waves. And I guess DPD's doing what they can down there, but it still feels like a free-for-all sometimes.
Dude, I get cut off by police officers all the time now. I'm trying to merge in the lane. They like look me in my eye, just cut me off. I'm like, dude, you're supposed to be enforcers. What are you?
Yeah, and I'm very much like, I don't, I respect police officers. I think it's a totally difficult job.
It's a hard job.
But also, when my truck got stolen, they seemed so bothered that I even called about it.
Dang, really, man?
Yeah, they, you call, hey, this happened. They're like, okay, give us your info. Somebody will call you back. They called 12 hours later.
Damn.
And then when they later that day when they called me, they put you on a Teams meeting to take your statement or whatever they call it. And the first thing they do is read you a statement to let you know that if you're lying about your vehicle being stolen, that is also a crime. So the first thing is like, just in case you're committing some insurance fraud here.
Wow.
I was like, hey, man, I'm the victim.
Yeah, this is crazy. Just want to get my truck back.
And they're just like, yeah, so, this is what happens. Good luck. Probably not going to find it. It was like,
wow.
Cool. All right.
That's so sad.
And you want to be like, yeah, man, like I support y'all. It's a tough job. Like and I want good police in my town. I want to respect you. It's like that whole interaction sucked.
That's all it is. It's like, hey, I'm still missing $5 from 20 years ago too, by the way.
Yeah. Did you guys ever find the parking guy?
No shirt, no shoes.
How come nobody ever looked into this? But I mean, I still go down there. I still want to see shows. I still want to do stuff. I think DCC definitely feels safer being further away.
No, I feel safe there.
You can park in a pretty nice spot, but it's like I have these dreams one day where we'll just have some sort of like a private security or something down there, just like on the corners, like just making it feel nicer.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah.
But I don't know that Deep Ellum even wants that. They seem more of the anti-police crowd.
Oh yeah, There's always people popping wheelies at Deep Ellum. Like I'm like, how are there so many bikes on one wheel here? It is remarkable.
Did you see on the ice day they impounded those ATVs that were down there?
No.
Which is weird because it's like of all the days to get strict, like you'll go down there on a normal Saturday night when it's 80-degree weather and they'll take over an intersection for a moment and do their thing and the cops are just like chilling. So apparently on the snow days that we just had, there were all these people with big ATVs and the off-road cars and stuff, and they're like cruising down the streets doing donuts and things. And I guess they like impounded several of them, like wrote tickets or something. I don't know. I was like, what a weird time.
Yeah, what a weird
to go
deal.
Like we got to enforce it.
And that's like the saddest Uber home too. Like it's just 5 ATV guys. Like, yeah, we'll get the XL today.
And it's like it's also the most capable vehicle for the weather.
Yeah, they're probably saving people.
Yeah.
It was FEMA 10 years ago.
Yeah, you were down in Houston, right? So It's like, when the flood happened, it's like all the rednecks were saving people.
Oh, yeah. They were like Superman. Yeah. I remember I was in college when that happened, Hurricane Katrina.
Yeah.
Or no, it wasn't Katrina. It was
after that. I can't remember. It was
Harvey?
Yes.
Yeah, Harvey. Yeah.
That was the one where it like stalled out and just rained forever, right?
Yeah, and like I was in college dorms there. That was the weekend of the McGregor-Mayweather boxing match. And my roommate's like, dude, stay with the dorm with us. We're going to lock it down, have a good weekend.
In Houston?
Yeah, in Houston. I was like, I'm going back to my parents' house, dude. It's like groceries, Like,
so it was worth it to them to ride out the hurricane to watch the fight?
They didn't think it lasted that long.
Yeah.
So they stayed. They go to Whataburger, buy like 30 meals to go through the drive-thru, and they just live off that for like a month.
Wow.
And they were stuck there for like a month with no food. It was crazy.
That's scary. I mean, what a college experience, by the way.
Oh, yeah. And it was community showers. So it was probably a cesspool of germs.
God. Yeah, even if they even worked, right?
Oh, yeah,
I'm
there's
sure
no way.
power was out,
Yeah,
right?
there's no way.
Man. Did you ever ask them after the fact? Like, how was the fight?
Yeah, they're dead now. Yeah, they're stealing ATVs now.
Oh, my gosh. That's pretty. But, you hear those people, too, where they're like, I've ridden out 2 of these. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
I think I'd flee every time.
Yeah, I don't want to ride.
Yeah,
I want AC. I want HVAC.
I get nervous just about like tornado weather around here.
Oh, yeah.
And you can't really flee that. It's so quick.
Right.
So the thought of knowing I had a week to make a decision to leave, and I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
You go to bed every night hoping. Yeah, no, there's no way.
Did you ever sit through any of the storms that were like almost a hurricane, like big, nasty storms where you got a little worried?
Yeah, all of them in Houston. I would just stay at home. But power would go out every single time.
Really?
I remember that vividly. Like we'd have like no power for like 3 days. It'd be super humid and hot. But
where it's like a big tropical storm, but it's not a hurricane yet?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
We just have like flashlights and they'd just be humid all day.
So what level of hurricane do you decide to leave? If they're like level 1?
Dude, we've never left.
You stayed there every time?
Every time.
Except for that one? What do you mean?
Only time my dad... No, so I fled my college dorm to go home to my parents' house.
Oh, but you stayed in town.
I stayed in town, yeah.
Oh, and you wrote it out.
Yeah, I wrote it out.
Why are y'all doing that?
Dude, I think my parents, the only time they fled...
Yeah, you're the people I'm talking about.
Yeah. My parents have fled one time for the Vietnam War. That's about it. Like, They don't believe in the hurricanes. They tough it out, man.
Yeah, I guess if you compare it to Vietnam, it's
Yeah.
not bad.
I mean, it ain't communism. It's just a gust of wind,
You say it's just a gust of wind, man. Are they far enough inland, though? Like, you don't worry about storm surge or anything?
No, we live in a suburb, like outside the city, so...
So no storm surge, just wind.
I don't know what storm surge... What is that?
The flood water.
Oh, no, there's some flooding there for sure, but I guess they want to stay at home, like, push out the water if it gets that. Yeah. We're kind of built on a little hill, so not that bad. Like, there's, like, some drainage in a new neighborhood.
And you haven't, like, lost a roof or anything?
No.
Wow.
No lost roof.
I mean, you hope there's building standards for that, but it's also Houston, and I feel like things get a little loose down there.
Oh, yeah. There's definitely no standards out there.
Man, so if you were in Houston, you know what a slab car is, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
The rental they gave me is a gold Chevy Malibu while we're waiting on the insurance stuff. And I looked at the guy, I was like,
you guys are going left and right with that.
Yeah, I was like,
thing,
I don't want to complain. I was like, but do I need to drive down south and get some of those rims that stick out?
Yeah, man. Dude, I had a phase where, like, when I moved to Dallas, I was a little homesick of Houston. I was listening to, like, Maxwell Cream, Zero. I was telling my wife, like, I'm going to get a wooden steering wheel. She's
Dude.
like, and I looked into it. You have to, like, rewire the thing.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought you just buy, like, a wood thing, click it on. It's like, no, you got to get, like, a whole airbag.
Did you ever see any of those I don't know if it's like an event or like a drive that they're doing or both, but how many of those cars did you get to see in person?
No, I never saw them in person like that.
I'm fascinated with that culture because, like you said, just a steering wheel modification is so expensive.
It's cool.
The commitment that these guys have to these cars, knowing they're spending crazy
money. Big spinners on the side.
Crazy money to make it so impractical.
I know.
So, I mean, it looks cool.
Yeah.
But you also want to go like, let me see what your house is like. Are the rest of your finances in shambles because of this car?
Yeah.
But yeah, I really want to go to one of those events. But also I feel like if I show up to that event, they're going to be like, who are you and what are you doing
you're undercover.
Here? Yeah.
You're here to take our ATVs, aren't you?
Who's the narc? Yeah. I'm trying to be polite. I'm like, hey, gentlemen.
Is that a Nissan model? It's like,
yeah. So yeah, I'm driving around a gold Chevy Malibu with a Louisiana license plate.
Wow.
So during the ice storm, I had to go to work, and it was such a kick in the nuts because, I had that Toyota Tacoma.
I know.
I had 4-wheel drive.
Perfect for the ice storm.
And I was like, ice storm's coming up.
Yeah.
It's like y'all with the hurricane. It's like, no big deal, man. You just put it in 4-wheel drive, you go. And now I'm in this front-wheel drive car, and I'm like, do I have enough momentum for the hill? And I've got this Louisiana plate, so people are like, "Oh, great! Somebody who doesn't know how to deal with this. These people, coming in here from other states." But yeah,
gold card. Probably came with a purple suit, just to the passenger side. It's cool, man.
What was your what was like when you were in Houston? What do you think was the most Houston thing that you think about now? If people are like, "What's it like?" or something, and there's that thing that stands out to you, like Fort Worth people would say like, "Oh, stockyards" or something. I don't know.
Interesting.
But like, what do you think of when you think of Houston? Since you were a resident there.
Yeah, I think Houston's music scene is one of like the best for like independent artists.
Really?
Travis Scott went to my like school district.
Oh.
And it's like Beyonce's the same school district. Like all these like Zero, all these guys. Like it's really cool. Like Mike Jones. It's all guys that like came up the scene and became hot in Houston and then like passed on the DVDs. So
yeah.
I think there's hard to see that the music culture across other places. I just don't see that.
Yeah, it's definitely not the same here.
Yeah, it's not.
Here, I feel like everybody's out on a little island.
Yeah, it's so corporate here. Because I think there's like corporations, big money, but like there's no money in
So
Houston.
Houston doesn't feel corporate?
I don't think so.
No.
I really don't think so.
Because I only, I've been there several times, and then we've driven through several times going to the coast, but I don't have a feel for what it's like to live there. Just kind of be there, and it's so huge that it seems daunting. Like, how do you even find the neighborhood that fits you? Because you can drive. You can drive an hour and still be in Houston, right?
Right.
I mean, it's massive.
Yeah, there's something cool about like Houston, like the area code 713. Like I hear other cities try to do the area code thing. It's like it doesn't resonate to me. But.
Yeah. Well, Houston, I don't think people that are not from Texas understand the scale of Houston.
Yeah, it's pretty insane.
And Houston, I believe, now is the most diverse population in the country.
It was. I made I called my friend the other day because in high school we had one white girl in our class.
Yeah.
And I live in Peoria, Illinois after school. And I'm like, there's no diversity. It's all white women. This is crazy. Yeah. And I'm like, this is what the world. And I see you started doing comedy, like these other gigs. It's all white people.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh wow, I was like in like the mecca of like a melting pot.
That's a pretty interesting experience too, because in Houston you would have not have felt like a minority.
No.
Like you would have not have felt different. But then you go feel different.
Yeah, we made fun of the white people. We're like, oh, look at you. Like we're all Asian here.
What, are you lost?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! By the way, I had a very Vietnamese day today because I'm interviewing you.
Me too.
Yeah. And then one of our good friends, she's Vietnamese, and we went to her kid's birthday party.
Oh.
And she's like, her family lives with her, and it's like huge Vietnamese family at the party. They're doing all the cooking and everything. I don't know what any of the dishes are, but we're eating food. It's delicious. But I was like, I accidentally had a very Vietnamese day. Very Vietnamese-centered day today. It's really interesting.
You guys should gamble in the parking lot later. That's shut down the night.
They probably would, because there's the by the way, like, I have a coworker who's Vietnamese, and I was asking him, I was like, is the gambling stereotype?
Oh yeah.
I was like, is it really?
Oh my gosh.
And he goes, dude, my dad hits the casino nonstop. I was like, no way, And because you want to know, it's like, how much of this is racism and how much of this is a true stereotype?
I'm telling you, when I headline Oklahoma, I'm taking that check, going right to the Choctaw.
Oh, so it's still within you, too.
Oh, yeah.
You're doing it?
It's just, I'm making a lot of money or making no money. I don't.
What's your game?
I love either slots or blackjack, one of those.
Slots?
Yeah.
So you're just sitting there playing the machines, huh?
Yeah, but if I had to do in and out, just roulette, put on black.
I love roulette.
Yeah, just like, that's how it's a coin flip.
You put it on black?
Yeah.
I'm one of those... I love roulette. I haven't played in a long time, but like before we had kids, we were going, like we were on a cruise we're playing. We'd go to Louisiana, we'd go to Oklahoma, and we'd play it every now and then. But I love roulette, and I'm one of those gamblers where like, I got a system.
Oh, yeah. You're going to beat the big dog? Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm convinced the way I play that, I think casinos cheat.
Of course.
Right?
Of course.
How can you have roots in mafia and taking money and not have an edge, right?
Of course, yeah.
Aside from the statistical edge you have.
Right.
But so my system is always like, they probably know I'm winning, but I'm doing it in such a way that they're going to let this slide because they're taking so much money from these people. Yeah. They're like the pit boss, the people on the cameras, whoever, like they know what I'm doing, but they're letting me. Yeah. I'm small potatoes here.
Yeah.
But I've convinced myself I have a good system.
Good for you.
And, it's like, I'm glad I don't have real big money to gamble to learn that I don't have a system at all. And I'm just going to lose everything.
Yeah.
When was your first gambling experience?
Dude, so when I started comedy in Illinois, DraftKings is legal there. Like you can gamble from your phone. So my dad growing up had like a bookie. He'd like put money into a guy, like get a slip and all that.
Yeah.
Me, I'm like, dude, for my phone.
Was this down in Houston? You had a bookie?
Yeah. This is a long time ago,
Yeah.
like decades ago.
But what a fun, like, I got a bookie.
I do kind of wish I lived in that.
Cool,
That is
right?
kind of cool. I got a guy for that, you know?
Yeah.
But like DraftKings, so in Illinois, I was making chump change doing comedy, a couple $100. Just gamble it. Just put on like a basketball game. Korean baseball, I don't know, whatever you want to bet money on. You know,
Were you making money then?
I was never in the red. I always ended each year like I had to file taxes for it. That's how much I would win.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Above 600.
What a very, like, you actually filed taxes on. Well, I guess you have to because it's online.
It's all electronic now.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even think about that aspect of gambling. It's like you have to do it
Yeah.
legally.
Yeah. That's why people love casinos, because you can just get like the little paper voucher and then get out of there scot-free.
Dang. Yeah. So did you ever get close to being, addicted to gambling? Did you get close to that ever?
Yeah, for sure.
Because you win and you start feeling good.
Because when you win, I'm like, of course I predicted that. Because I'm a big basketball statisticians guy.
Okay.
I used to have like a heat map on Excel where I would download real-time data.
Yeah.
And then make like 30 teams and like defense per position. So like points for like point guards.
Boy, you were in deep.
I was in deep. I had a heat map.
A heat map.
If it's green, I'm going green. You know, I was betting on that stuff. And it'd be like, oh, John Wall's playing the Hornets. They give the most points to point guards. Bet the over on him.
Whoa.
And I'd be having parlays.
But it was working.
Oh, yeah. Well, our systems were working. You like try to scale it to like $1,000, I'd probably start losing, but...
Yeah, why is that, right? Isn't that interesting? Because I feel like my system's really good.
Yeah.
But so like with the casino, that's where I feel like they definitely know how to cheat. So if I'm not coming in there with my system playing 20 grand, they're going to let me slide. But if I were to do that, I feel like, hey, well... turn the magnet on or whatever and make the ball jump,
It still is luck end of the day. John Wall could roll his ankle the first quarter and he gets out. Now you get the under cashing, so.
It's too late for me now, but now I wish when I was, in middle school, I had known about all of this to go like, no. The real money is being the house.
I know.
Being the bookie.
I would love to be a bookie.
Taking the bets, doing the things. DraftKings is making the money.
I know, yeah.
And realizing like, oh, no, I don't want to sell products. I want to be the middleman. Because
when you bet, it's always minus 110 odds. It's not like you double your money. You get like 90% of your money. They take the 10% every time. So they're winning no matter what.
Yeah. But then I think of, I wonder what the seedy culture is like if you go to Oklahoma and try to open up a casino.
Oh, no.
Or you go to, it's like, these guys aren't letting you in there, right?
That's like open up a comedy club in Deep Ellum right now.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna have some broken windows for sure,
Yeah, I've thought about that. There's one of the clubs here locally that has polarizing opinions from people, right? We don't have to name it.
Yeah.
But I have thought about that. I was like, I wonder if I opened up a club.
Yeah.
Like, not even on the same block, like a mile away.
Right, yeah.
Like a mile away.
Yeah.
I wonder if all of a sudden I'd be getting like random city inspections or people reporting things. I wonder how much of that would become a real feud.
Oh, yeah.
Or if they would just be, like, good luck.
No, they get real picky over that kind of stuff. So,
yeah, but part of me wants to, I want a little danger.
I thought about opening up
I want to feel a little.
There's something that needs to be done in the southwest or southeast of Dallas. There's no comedy club down there. I thought about it, and I was like, it's a lot of...
Southwest,
like Mesquite?
Yeah.
Southeast?
Yeah.
Southeast.
I have always felt that Mesquite, what's over there? Mesquite, Forney, Sunny, is it Sunnyvale over there?
Yeah,
too?
Sunnyvale.
And then Seagoville, Garland, Texas. You know where that is?
Yeah, that's like north.
You just go past Mesquite on 30. Yeah. I have always felt like those communities something's being overlooked there.
For sure.
For all sorts of entertainment because the population is massive over there. And I don't think they want to come into Dallas for things.
Not at all.
And then they're definitely not going further north of Dallas. They're not interested in going to Richardson, Frisco, Plano.
Yeah.
But there's nothing over there.
Yeah.
And it is more middle class, more blue collar. But they're also old, established neyborhoods.
Exactly.
There's people who've been residents there for
families.
30, 40 years.
Yeah.
And it is interesting. You know what we went over there for in Mesquite? We went for a kid's birthday party at a skating rink over there. Okay. I can't remember the name of it right now.
Town East Mall?
It's not at Town East Mall. God, I wish I could remember the name of this thing. It's been there forever. It's like a staple. It's something where it's like Texas. No, what is it? I'm going to text my wife while we're talking about it. Maybe she'll text me back.
No problem.
But point being, we had gone there when we were young to skate. When we were like high school or a little older, and the kid that had a birthday party over there, our kids are young. They're like 5, 6 years old at this party. And we pulled up. We're like, man, we haven't been here forever. I wonder what this place is going to be like. And you're thinking, I bet this is going to be a dump.
Yeah.
And this is going to be like a horrific, like, oh, man, our childhood's about to be crushed.
Yeah.
And sure enough, you pull up. It doesn't even look like they've put a fresh coat of paint on the building.
Wow.
And you're thinking like, ooh, here we go. But then it totally flipped.
Heck
From the moment we walked in.
Yeah.
There's this like Southern Texas woman behind the glass of the thing. She's like, hey, y'all here for the birthday party? She's like, come on in. They're all getting set up. And we come in. People are like putting up the decorations. They'd rented out the whole rink for the party.
Cool.
The main manager, he's cruising around on roller skates everywhere, like playing the part.
That's awesome.
And he's like, got everything going. It was like the best customer service I've ever had.
That's awesome.
Everything looked like it was still 30 years old. The speakers, the decorations.
Wow.
All of it. But it was incredible. Like the service, it was like you were in a time warp, but it was like, I don't know, it felt like I finally, for the first time in a long time, got value for money.
Good for you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it did make me think of like, man, how many little gyms in these areas, these spots could be like this that we're all just missing out on?
Yeah.
Or if you opened it up, would it just destroy?
Right. Because you got to think, they've been around, they survived the test of time.
Dude, they made it through so many things that other people didn't make it through.
08, COVID, like commercial real estate was crashing. It's like if they're surviving, they've probably got some good service. So
how? I mean, like, how much money are you making in a skating rink that you survived?
Oh my gosh, during COVID, like, how do you justify?
How many hot dogs are you selling?
Yeah, yeah.
And somehow they made it.
Yeah.
And it was not like, it wasn't one of those things where it was ironically fun.
No.
Oh, we were at this dive skating rink. It was genuinely fun.
Yeah.
And it did make me think about those areas just being underserved in terms of that type of entertainment. I bet a comedy club that way would kill.
I went to Town East Mall recently. I'm trying to buy a suit to go on stage now for my big headlining shows. And I went to Town East Mall, and I was like, it's just a bunch of like bad clothes stores and like bad restaurants. Like they should be like, they could really open up something here for entertainment, It
was called Broadway Skate, by the way, if you want to check it out.
Okay, cool.
Broadway Skate in Mesquite. I recommend, I vouch. You should just go. You should have an adult party there.
I'll headline there in June. Let's make the day happen.
I bet if you said you wanted to put on a comedy show there, like some sort of like maybe like before the skating starts or something, and then you like send it off. I bet they would be about it. They were crazy accommodating, and they just seemed like fun people. But it gets you. It's one of those where it gets you fired up because it wasn't all this nickel and dime nonsense that all these places do.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a kids skating party, so the whole idea is we're gonna have some fun here. It's like, oh, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you. It's not $30 just for this, and that, and blah blah blah.
Like $5 you want the light on the ice to show. Like, no upcharges. You got to skate in the dark. You want to pay $20.
When we were getting married, we looked at a venue here in Dallas. It was $10,000 for the venue, okay, which is normal for Dallas venues, probably on the affordable side.
Yeah, for sure.
And they had these lights strung up to the ceiling that just looked beautiful, And I was telling them, I was like, oh yeah, that's a great feature. Like this looks incredible. And they're like, yeah, if you guys want to use the lights, it's $300. I was like, $300. I was like, oh, so you guys take these down after each wedding and then put them back up? They're like, no. I was like, so what is it? And it's literally like a switch. You're charging me $300 to flip a switch on.
That's how they get you.
And I was like, yeah, we're I don't want to do this now.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're the most affordable one in town.
Literally.
I'm over it.
It's petty.
I'm over it.
I'm renting venues for my shows, and they're like, yeah, seats 50 people. I'm like, great, let's book it. They're like, if you want the chairs, you got to pay an extra $100. So I'm like, so you're going to put up the chairs out of spite? Like, just leave the chairs there. We're crying out loud.
Well, and just what a... Or, just like, hey, put $50 more into the price.
Yeah, don't tell me this.
Just do the... Before you even mention it, just be like, hey, so is this a standing thing or a seated thing? Seated thing. Yeah, okay, so for the seated event, it's this.
Yeah,
just
don't let me know.
Get it over on me where I don't know you're doing it
chair
at least.
Margin, yeah.
And you know what happens too, right? You get there, they're not good chairs.
No, they're bad chairs.
They're bad chairs. Screws are loose. You're wondering if somebody's going to fall through this and you're going to get sued.
Yeah.
Did you end up paying chair fees or finding new venues?
New venue.
Good.
Like venue, they came with chairs.
Good.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, man. That's when you were looking for venues, what are important things to you? Do you feel out vibe, or is it just it needs to have XYZ? How do you decide?
Yeah, for the Houston one, I was like, I want easy parking for sure for 50 people, and then just good like acoustic setup. Like some of these big halls, I'm like, that would be miserable to listen to comedy in. It'd be like echoey. So you got a nice small room, like kind of like backdoor setup, like a shotgun style kill room. I'm like, I want that. Like, just give me that.
Have you tried to do anything at Backdoor yet? Are you in over there?
Yeah, no, I host there a lot.
Because you do clean, that's no problem for you. Yeah,
I host there a lot. I haven't asked yet because they don't really do headliners there.
That's right. It's always showcase.
Yeah, they headline Paul Verghese, if anything.
Sure.
But I'm like, I don't want to be like stepping on toes. Like,
well, and especially with them, Paul's local legend with them and has been working with them so long.
He's earned it. Yeah,
he's got that pass.
Yeah, I would love to headline there, but I think Stopping Ground makes more sense right now. So.
What if you opened that Backdoor version in Mesquite like you were talking about?
Yeah, I love Linda. I probably wouldn't do that to her. But,
No. But I don't think you'd compete with her.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think people from Mesquite are going
right.
to Richardson, and I don't think people from Richardson are going to Mesquite for comedy.
I have a theory, though, with Backdoor.
And the cities are so big, I think both of you can get 60 people without stepping on toes.
That's fair.
I don't. Yeah. I think y'all could help each other more than you would hurt each other.
I looked at the cost breakdown of actual comedy club. It's like, how do you make money in this business? You only make money half the week.
Break it down for me then, because I feel the opposite. If it's if it's a sizable club, let's say 250 seats.
Yeah.
You don't think there's money to be made there? You think it's tight?
Man, so a 250 seater. What is that commercial?
What was your heat map saying?
Oh, it's cold. It's ice cold over there for 250 seats. Because you got to think like you're only making money Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Okay,
and 250 seats, great. Whoever's bringing 250 seats to sell out, they're probably gonna get the door deal. Mm-hmm. So you're probably not gonna get much ticket sales. You're just gonna get food
what's
and
the
beverage.
door deal usually like? Is it all the door, or is it a percentage?
Usually like 70-30 if it's like a draw.
The
like 80-20.
venue getting 30 to 20, they're getting the smaller.
Yeah.
Okay.
But venue keeps all the food and drinks, all that good stuff. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think like half the week. I mean, you're doing Sunday to Wednesday, you have no money coming in.
Yeah.
So that's why a lot of those like restaurants do like a collab with like a comedy club.
Yeah.
Like a hybrid thing, so you make money.
I definitely don't understand how a place the size of Backdoor makes it work. I know they do multiple shows, but it essentially is what? I mean, if you're packed out, maybe
40.
Is it 40?
Yeah, it's 40.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I was thinking even maybe 60.
No.
40.
Yeah, it's 40, yeah.
God, that's how you know Linda's in it for love of the game.
Oh yeah, Linda's
because it's
fierce.
not like she's like, yeah, I'm picking up my new Rolls Royce next week from 40 seats.
She's probably getting impounded ATV for ticket sales.
Yeah, I mean,
so it's connected to a restaurant.
I know, but even with that, it feels difficult to break even.
For sure. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's tough times for sure.
I mean, if you have to do anything, if you have to buy new lights, it's like there went the annual budget.
That
was it.
You gotta get the $300 light add-on or whatever.
God. And to think how long they've been operating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
that
very
they've
impressive.
kept it going.
A lot of it works like because it's a showcase style. Like Laughing Skull Lounge in Atlanta was kind of like that. Mm-hmm. It was a showcase style that would pay local comics like $50. So you don't have to pay a headliner $1,000 or $2,000 anymore. You just get like local people to sell at the show. $400 overhead every week. You're selling out 80 seats for $25 a ticket. It's like, yeah, you can profit that way for sure. That's why a lot of clubs are moving to that showcase style.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. But so when you think of a larger club, 300-400 seats, do you feel like it scales and that's why those are all so successful?
So you're talking about improvs now.
Sure.
I
mean, that's clearly got to be making money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But those people that are coming through there are selling out like 8 shows and like Godfrey-esque comics. Like Godfrey, Shang Wangs of the world, like that will bring a whole crowd in. Mm-hmm. And like, yeah, I think that is profitable. Mm-hmm. But it takes a kind of prestige to book those kind of comics. Like if I open up like the Forney Funny Bone, I don't think I'm going to really get like Godfrey to come sell 8 shows for me, You
say that, man, but I've been watching Rose City out there in Tyler.
Yeah.
And they're pulling in larger acts somehow.
For sure, yeah. A lot of it is like, it's a good middle. Like you can do a one-nighter there on the way to Dallas and then on the way to Fort Worth. You can hit 3 different markets in one little go.
Yeah. So you could hit Mesquite on the way to Dallas. No.
I don't know.
Maybe that's too close.
I don't know. Yeah. I crush the numbers. And just I'm 28. I don't know much about commercial real estate. I never taken out a commercial loan in my life.
Yeah.
So I just looking like the interest rate of what it is and like the space that would need to be taken.
Yeah,
I'm like,
but you're a gambler who has heat maps and you are not in the poorhouse as far as I know. So I would at least trust you a little bit with numbers. The fact that you've kept your shirt this long, when you I would at least trust you would be able to go, ooh, that's too much of a gamble for me.
It's very bad. Yeah, it's a very high risk for sure.
So in your world, if you did it, what would you do to fill out? Would you fill out those other days, or how would you try to make it survive?
I mean, you got to look at what other people are doing, like comedy classes. Like renting out corporate events. It's like, now what are we doing?
Okay, so we know the clubs around here that do that, and I don't have any problem with that because, one, it brings in new people to comedy, which I think is great. Yeah. But I do wonder, I would love to talk to some of the ones who do that and just ask them how much they feel like they're spending so much energy on that it takes away the energy from just making the club itself
better.
Not necessarily better, but, if you weren't putting so much effort into this, would you then be able to start getting to those bigger headliners?
Yeah.
Could you focus on that and figure out what that takes? Because I realize, there's only so many hours in the day.
Yep.
And I can't imagine how much you have to balance when you're running a big room, a small room, corporate events, and classes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That seems
It's fascinating.
like your day's full.
I've had this conversation a lot with my friends. Like, they're also trying to be full-time comedians.
Mm-hmm.
They always tell me, you got to get a side hustle, get some side money. It's like, what if you just go all in on being a really good headliner with good marketing? Like, what if you
What kind of side hustles do they pitch?
Like teaching a comedy class too, or like I don't know, like making funny video, like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like it's like
Yeah.
like kind of piecing away, like make a couple short change dollars there. But it's like, what if you just went all in with your brain bandwidth on how to be a good headliner, how to market?
Because I think those things sound very good on paper,
Right,
But
but it still work.
But now you're focusing on teaching your class.
Exactly.
And are you a master yet?
Right. Right.
I mean, I know it's just basic. You can teach basic philosophy, but I have seen some people come and go who have gone that route of teaching. Okay, and they were good comics. They're funny, and to me, at least, I could be way off. It felt like there was a switch in their style when they started teaching.
I bet. Yeah,
Because it felt like the strategies they were teaching people on a very entry level started drifting into their set, which at this point was beyond entry level.
Of course,
and started making things feel a little more hokey.
like clunky. Yeah.
Yeah, because I understand if this is your first show you've ever done in comedy, and they teach you a very traditional, setup punch callback type whatever thing. That's going to get you into the mode of writing and performing, and I think on an entry level, that's fantastic, right? It gets you on stage, and then you can start thinking of the nuance of who are you?
Yeah.
What do I want to do? What do I not want to do? It's just a nice little blueprint, right? So from that aspect, I think it's great. But I think if you're teaching that blueprint constantly,
Yeah.
all of a sudden your nuance on these people, it felt like their nuance went away, and they were going back to being more formulaic.
Sure, yeah. There's a lot of power in words. If you're like reciting a curriculum every day, but like, here's how you do setup punchline, you're gonna infect that in your writing process for sure.
I think you're right. I think you got to go all in.
I think so, and it's like, what's the worst that can happen? Like
You're right back where you started.
Literally, yeah.
Okay.
I had a big moment where like my cousin, he's like 40, good dude, had like 2 kids, like little babies now. They had like they had to work to get a house and all that. And then I was telling him my dreams like be a full-time comedian, and he got real quiet. He's like, I had dreams too, and I was like, I got to go for it now because if the kids come, this is kind of what my life looks like.
Well, and how many people are like that? So if you're in a position where you can do it, it's like right now I'm trying to eat better. I'm trying to lose weight, so I'm going low carb, low sugar, and there's like some other reasons that I chose that diet. And so we've had like 3 birthday parties that we've gone to in a week.
No cake.
And there's cake, pizza, all the stuff I want. And, people are like, oh. And it's like, no, live for me. Like, I want to watch you eat that slice of pizza. Eat it. Tell me it was delicious, And so I think those people who wish they would have taken a leap, like him, it's like, that's how he's looking at you, going like, just do it, man.
I know,
just
for
go,
sure. That's why I want to leave the day job, too. I'm in a cubicle every single, 40 hours a week, surrounded by people like that, like, been through divorce, that given up on their dreams. It's like, that's infectious, man. Like, that really takes a toll on the brain.
Have you ever been in a situation, too, where you had to get something done last minute? Like, I needed money or I needed to get this accomplished. And because you were so uncomfortable, you found a way?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
For sure. Deadlines, for sure.
Yeah. And so I think that's part of the reason you got to go. In your situation in particular, it's like, you got to. Like, quit it. It sounds like the wife's on board, So if you're not getting...
My wife's around board.
If you're not getting divorced over it, then it's a good gamble, right? And not having the safety net will force you to go, okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Because when you can go, well, it's okay. Check's coming in.
Yeah.
All right.
And I don't like discipline. I write every day. But then it's like, I think if this truly is the full-time income, it's like, I will look at comedy differently. Like, how do you get to that amount of money? Like, your brain starts thinking like human nature. Like, how do you get to the 30 grand a year, 40 grand, whatever you need to survive, So,
do you have any people that are doing what you want to do right now that you can talk to about it?
I opened for a guy named Ray Lau, Asian guy, like my age in LA, full-time comedian right now, just left his day job. And, he's giving me a lot of advice. Like, you got to start headlining shows in your hometown because you can sell there and get the headline muscle down. Because, there's no way. I used to do, like, different 20-minute sets, be like, oh, when I get 30-minute sets, I'm going to kill it. It's different. So you have to do 45 to get that muscle, you know? It's like running a marathon. Like, I could run 10 miles 3 days in a row, but it doesn't mean I can run it all in one go.
Yeah.
It's a way different game, you know?
Yeah. It's interesting. I mean, I'm glad to hear you're doing it.
Yeah, so Ray Loud inspired me a lot, for sure.
Yeah.
Seeing someone that looks like me do it is very, like, necessary to me.
Really?
I try to explain to my wife, because my wife's white, and, like, I'm like, well, this Asian guy did it. She's like, why do you care? He's Asian. Who cares? I'm like, you don't understand, like, the power of Jeremy Lin that had on me as, a child.
Really?
Dude, because it's like, every Asian parent is so status-driven. Like, when I told them I want to be the NBA player, like, no one can do it. I'm like, well, Jeremy Lin did it. Then they kind of like, okay, one person can do it.
Yeah.
But now comedy, it's like I'm throwing out names like there's more Asian comedians now that can do it. So
I can't remember, both parents Vietnamese?
Yeah.
Both fled Vietnam? Mm-hmm. Have you ever asked them why they think something like that would be impossible when they were able to flee a war-torn country?
It's
because that sounds very impossible.
I know. When my dad was my age, he left Vietnam.
Yeah.
I'm just going to open mics. Dude, I'm just running new stuff.
Like, isn't that interesting, though? Like, you fled a country.
That's crazy.
Didn't know the language, came over here, but you're like, I don't know, comedy's probably impossible.
Yeah, literally.
What?
Yeah, my dad tells these stories where he was like a waiter in Milwaukee, just making like eating Tuesday pork chops for $1.
Yeah.
Because they would go on sale that day, just like survive. And then he's like, yeah, but you got to play it safety. Don't even strip. You know?
I didn't think about that till just now, but I mean, how many immigrant stories are like that where the kid, the parents are like, don't. It's a waste of time. You'll never make it. Do the safe thing, and I get why they probably want the safe thing because they struggled and they worked.
Exactly.
But you would think there'd be a little of like, you'd be surprised what you can accomplish.
No, there's no. It's fascinating because I actually called my mom 2 days ago. I told her my plans and she was like just heartbroken. She was like,
well, I remember on here last time when you were like, she's like, you could have had a master's.
Yeah. She still says it. It's not too late. They're hiring.
She was upset.
Yeah,
again.
She got really mad.
And you've accomplished so much since the last episode.
Literally, she said like her whole dream. So she worked 30 years at the same company, same position.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy to hear?
Yeah, that never happens.
Never happens here. But she's a very like put down your head, don't complain, just go to work kind of person, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, my whole dream was just to work at a big company. What you're doing now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wish I can tell you it's a nightmare. Everyone around me's fat. They're all divorced. They're all depressed,
Yeah. I mean, most of the people you talk to, they want to do something interesting. It doesn't even have to be a successful in the limelight kind of thing.
Yeah.
They just, they want to do something. Like we have a friend, one of her dreams is always I wish I could, have a vineyard and make wine. And it's like, I know we're in Texas, but
you can do that.
Why don't you just like buy some stuff and like mess around in your backyard and just make a bunch of bad batches of wine and just have fun with it and see what happens, And they still feel like that's insurmountable.
It's crazy.
And it's not, but when you're in your own way, you can't be convinced.
Yeah.
But everybody's got that thing. It's like, hey, I'm not saying you got to be a wealthy, powerful winemaker.
Right.
But you could be the fun friend we have who brings like a batch of wine on the holidays that you've been making. And be like, wow, this is incredible.
Yeah. I'm not trying to do like tours and stadiums. Like,
no, but you got to start here.
Yeah. And I'm very happy chasing this. Like, I'm truly content. We just make people laugh.
Well, and this thing is, how many comics who are wildly famous now and successful, multimillionaires, it's the same story. They weren't thinking,
right,
this is my first step to arenas.
Yeah, there's no way.
They were just thinking, I want to be a better comic. I want to make a living. And I think you just keep just a little step at a time and keeps improving. But it's very interesting to hear. You would think your mom would understand the comedy dream on some level because she had the work for a big company dream.
Yeah.
That was a dream.
That was a dream.
And I imagine if she had told people in Vietnam, I'm going to go to America.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm going to work for one of these companies for 30 years. And I'm going to get a 401k and I'm going to be stable. They had to have been thinking,
yeah,
that's crazy. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
We're born here. We stay here. This is it.
Mm-hmm.
So on some level, it's like, she did the crazy, ridiculous thing.
And it's in my DNA that has the same urge to do the crazy thing,
Have you heard people, like, they talk about it on Rogan's podcast several times, and I kind of agree with it, where they talk about that's one of the reasons America feels so wild to the other cultures, the other countries, the other continents even, that most of the people here are descendants of the wild people who are like, let's get on a boat. We might die.
I never heard of that. That's funny.
Let's get, like we're descendants of people. Now, my generations, it's further back, but we're still descendants of people who are like, let's go see
I believe it, yeah.
We never saw a picture of the place.
Yeah.
We don't have any plans when we get there, but we're going to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And so that whole first couple generations of Americans that all immigrated from different places, they were the wild ones who took a chance.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, man, that does make sense why America feels different to other cultures, where we're all a little more, most of us are more risk takers than other cultures. And then most of us we have far more dreamers here.
Yeah.
Where we all think we can be famous and popular.
Yeah.
But it's like, but that makes sense when you think your great grandparents were like, I'm going on a boat.
Crazy.
I don't know if it's even going to make it. We might get in a storm. We might run out of food.
My dad bartered with gold to get on a U.S. helicopter.
Bartered with gold?
Like gold bar. He got in his house, stole some gold bars, bounced out the house, and went to this helicopter to leave at midnight because they're pulling the troops out.
Yeah.
Gave him gold. Please just let me on this plane. It's a crazy.
And the risk of that guy could have just been like, let me see the gold. Okay, bye.
What happened was this lady.
He could have just taken the gold and kicked you away.
So this lady that was his connection to the plane.
Yeah.
She had a relationship with a U.S. soldier. That's how a friend of a friend kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the U.S. soldier said, we can take one more person. And she had a daughter she was trying to take back to America. But my dad gave enough gold, she left the daughter behind.
No.
Crazy.
Wow.
And then my dad gets on the plane, but she could easily just pocket the gold.
Yeah.
But
yeah, they have guns. They could have just said too bad.
Yeah. So she left her daughter behind in Vietnam, and they all bounced to America off that plane. Then decades later, my dad meets the daughter in America somehow. It's insane.
At the time, did he know that's how the transaction went down? Did he know that he was taking a seat?
That's a great question.
Because I would want to know in the moment. Because, all of us, especially men, you'd like to think, if you found out you were taking the girl's seat, you'd be like, you like to think you'd be like, I can't do it. I can't. You go, little lady. I'm from Texas. Listen, little lady, you get on that chopper and you go live.
That's hilarious.
But in the moment, fleeing, worried, war, all this, I'd like to think I'd be the big man who would say, I can't. But I don't know. Maybe
we're not riding the metro rail. We're riding to America for your future.
And so, you have to ask him sometime and just go did you know the transaction went down that way? How did you feel? Or I would love to know the details because, and not in a judgmental way, just what do you do? And those moments are so chaotic where you got to make split-second decisions.
And that's a generational scenario.
You got gold in hand. There's a helicopter. There's a foreign military with weapons. And this friend of a friend is like, I can help you.
One person on the plane. Yeah.
And you got to decide now.
Crazy. Yeah.
Oh, man. And he probably is like, oh, it's just what we did.
Yeah, you got to survive. Because I think when he took the gold from his parents, he went behind his parents' backs to do it.
Yeah.
And it's at that point, you kind of burn the bridge with your family. So you got to see this way through. That's what I think.
Stole gold from the family.
Or took gold, I guess.
Well, I mean, it's however you want to phrase it. They didn't want you to have the gold.
Yeah. You gave him the $5 in the parking lot. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh man, but I can see how you can get into those situations too. Like when I was younger, I always had little schemes that were minor theft schemes,
Yeah.
And the version of me now thinks about it like, dude, what were you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Like not only the risk of getting in trouble, but just understanding the repercussions of theft now.
Yeah, for sure.
So like one of the places I worked at. I worked at a fast food place, and one of the hustles, because this was back when people still paid with cash all the time, right? It was very rare to get a card through the drive-through line. And so we had a senior citizen discount. So it's like, all right, so if somebody pays cash, and it's something where I can do some fast math in my mind, it's pretty simple. We do the senior citizen discount, I'll pocket the difference. And so you're talking about, 50 cents, nothing crazy, crazy. Small amounts. But in my mind, it was like, but if you do this to... 10 customers, whatever's $5. And at that time, gas was 70 cents or something. So it's like, I can put $5 of gas in my truck. And it was like, I went to work and back for free,
Yeah.
It was always these little petty scams like that. And that one felt the most harmless because they had a buffer for that discount where it's like, okay, I'm not really stealing money. And it was a big corporate thing. But at the same time, you realize hey, it's these little things that screw it up once people find out you're doing it, and then things get more strict, jobs get less cool.
Yeah.
It's like, now I know that. And then one of the places I had a little hustle like that too, I felt bad now when I was older. It was more of a family business. So it wasn't a corporation. So it's like, dang, I'm stealing from like a family business.
Yeah.
And it's like the thought of that now. So now it's like part of me, like when my truck gets stolen, I'm like, this is the karma.
Yeah.
It's swinging back
all
around.
The 50 cents added
This
up.
was it. All those little hustles came back for a big one here.
To be fair, though, you have to be smart enough to pull off something like that. Like, to be able to do quick math like that. Because you don't meet any dumb criminals. I'm a firm believer. Like, it's like people that understand the system enough to where you can game it.
Yeah.
Like credit card scammers, they watched how credit cards interact and they find the middleman.
Yeah.
Arbitrage in it, you know?
It was just knowing that, God, it's like, what could y'all accomplish if it was directed a different way?
Just honest work.
Yeah, like, are one of y'all going to cure cancer?
Like,
you're smart people.
Yeah, very
You're
smart
crafty,
people.
and it's a different kind of smart, right? You know, these, and I'm not saying I was like this mastermind.
You're Rain Man with
I mean, because the small business one, I got caught, and they fired me. It was a thing.
Oh, did you really?
Oh, yeah. It was like on camera. It was like, but honestly, it was a turning point. It was a very big turning point for me, because at that point, I was getting very arrogant and cocky about that kind of stuff. And part of it was, you know, I have good parents that, you know, they taught you not to do that stuff. But I had friends when I was growing up. We were all more poor. We didn't go without food. We didn't go without shelter.
Sure,
There's levels of poor. We were just not, we were like the poor kids where it's like you're anti the wealthy kids.
Yeah.
Because they're not, you know, we're us and they're them. And so in our mind, that kind of stuff, it's like, well, we're like owed, you know, they got money and we need money. It's no big deal. And I was carrying a lot of that mentality with me as I was getting older. So at this point I was probably 17, 18, something like that. So it's like, now you can get charged as like an adult for these things, you know?
Yeah.
And, so this manager who was there, he was, speaking of another immigrant, he was Iranian and he fled during the revolution.
Oh, dang.
So he's a hardcore dude.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he's not taking shit.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name. I wish I could. I get him confused with another Iranian guy that I knew that was an instructor. Get their names mixed up. But it was either Ebi or Essie. I can't remember which one. Very similar names.
Very close.
Very similar dudes, too.
Yeah.
Because both of them came over at the same time. But, you know, they fled.
Yeah.
But anyhow, you know, so he's this guy. He fled the Iranian Revolution. Another dangerous thing. He's probably taking gold and getting on planes too. And he's like, comes back. He's like, listen. He's like, and he's got an accent. I'm not going to do it, but he's got a thick accent. And he's like, empty this pocket.
Dang.
I was like, you know what's up, you know, because he's watching you on camera do this. And he's like, what are you doing this for? And you know, and you're giving the BS story. You're giving the like, well, this and that. And he's like, no.
Yeah.
Now it's funny. He goes, no. He goes, I saw you get Chipotle the other day. I saw you get Chipotle.
You got guac. That's an upcharge. You greedy.
He's like, don't give me that, you know?
You got chips and queso with it. Gluttony.
Then, so then he's like, look, obviously you're fired, right?
Yeah,
obviously you know this. And I'm like, okay. And he goes, but then he gave me a speech, you know? He's like a fatherly speech. He's like, look, you got to get your life together. He's like, this is only going to go one way.
Yeah.
And like, you know, I caught you. Somebody else is going to catch you. Like, you know, you're not slick, basically. And then he gave me the courtesy. He goes, I'm not just going to walk you out of here. He goes, just go back out there, stand over there, pretend to work, like fold some shirts or something. And he's like, and I'll just say it's slow and you can leave. And he's like, and then just like,
wow,
don't come back.
What a good dude.
Don't ever come back.
Yeah.
I was like, dang. And so, then it made it hard to be like, man, like, F him. You know, you couldn't even be angry at him because he just had this decent moment.
Still respectable. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that was a big turning point. So after that, it's like, then you had the embarrassment of like, do I got to tell people how I lost this job?
over some guac?
Yeah. And so I ended up getting a job stocking boxes at Dollar General. And that was kind of like my turnaround where it's like, okay, we're gonna go more straight on things now. We're never we're gonna build something real. This was like the turning point.
Hard to rob a Dollar General. Everything's $1.
You say that.
You start stealing corn or something.
But that was where I felt like, okay, now I think I understand what it means to work hard and act and not just look for a scam of some kind.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but if that guy had just been a jerk and made a big scene, I probably would have been like, man, whatever. I don't care. And probably would have kept going. But it was something about that. And then knowing you can't you can't talk to him like he doesn't know anything because of his life experience of fleeing this country and making something of himself over here. It's like, God, he is a harder worker than me.
Yeah.
He is a more capable person than me at this point.
It was his business, right?
I don't know. He married into it.
Okay, right on.
It was a skate park in Plano. You know where the Cowabunga guys do their show?
Yeah.
So if you step out of the Fillmore and you go left, there's the railroad tracks. Immediately on the other side of those railroad tracks, where all those apartments are, there was a skate park called Eisenberg's. And I can't remember his first name, but there was a rollerblader, which sounds funny to say, but it was when X Games and everything was kind of first really getting big.
Yeah.
So it was extreme rollerblading. They're on ramps and doing crazy stuff. His name was Eisenberg. I think it was Arlo. Arlo Eisenberg was the competitive skater who was successful. Okay. So I don't know if the Iranian man married into the family, married the mom when the business was already going, or if they were married and started the business.
Sure.
But the son, the mom, I think even the sister, they kind of all started that business together. And I can't remember if, because she had been married before and was divorced and then married this man. So the son was not from the Iranian man that he married afterwards. He's a stepfather.
You knew this dude's whole backstory, but he stole from
This was a family business.
This is crazy.
It's family business.
Yeah.
And
he was a Virgo, I was like,
you know what? I think she started the business in her first marriage with the father of that son.
Sure.
Because I ran into that man later when I was an adult, and I was like, "You're never going to believe this."
That's crazy.
He's like, "Well," I was like, "So I used to work for your company." He's like, "Really? Okay." And he wasn't there day to day. He was. I think he might have just been involved with the business because they were previously married. And this is all. I don't know. I could be way off. But
sure, yeah.
And I was just like, you'll never guess that I got fired for stealing like money.
Yeah.
He's like, really? I was like, yeah. I was like, it's crazy. And I was like, this was like a big turning point for me. And I was like, it's so weird to think this was like a moment in my life. Yeah. And I'm just like bumping into you. And it wasn't the same guy. It was a different guy. But I was like, yeah, man. I was like, that's crazy. But I was like, I guess I'm sorry for that. But I made something of myself. And he's like, well, seems like we both worked out. And I was like, all right, well, I guess I'll never see you again. Have a good one.
Yeah. His wife owned the business. She took half too. She stole from him. So hey.
Yeah. He's already used to it.
He's used to it.
He's like, yeah, my checks kept coming. So I don't really know what you were talking about. But yeah, it was such a, I see now how people can, like, you see those angles and they seem so tempting. Oh yeah. Because you're like, I can get away with it.
Yeah.
I can get away with it.
Yeah.
So I try not to judge too hard when I see that, because it's like, I've definitely been a dirtbag who did the same thing. But
if you can pull off a scam now, respect to that, because there's so much like paper trail now.
I don't know how anybody does it now.
Yeah, it's so hard.
You're so much smarter if you do it now.
You can't even like steal from the self checkout. There's like cameras.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Have you seen those clips where they'll find people, at Target?
Yeah, they wait till they hit the certain number.
Yeah, they track all their thefts, and these people just think they're slick. They're getting away with it.
Yeah,
and then they let them get up to $1,000 or whatever the number is, and then they just go get them.
I don't believe in pulling off that, because I'm Asian. You're gonna recognize me. Like, I'm the one dude at Target in like Mesquite, so they're gonna be like, yeah, he's at like $1,500 now. Give him another week of Pokemon.
Well, you got to go back to Houston, right?
Yeah. I'll pull him in that damn gold Cadillac. You're talking about, like, yeah, that's him again.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, well, I mean, theft nowadays seems wild.
Yeah.
That you can get away with it, because some people do, right?
It's probably hard to be a drug dealer now because everything's legal now. Like, you're like, as a weed guy, you're probably competing against big business now. It's like, good luck.
Yeah.
Make your own way,
Well, I'll say, I don't know if it's more radical of you or not, but I'm very much leaning towards all drugs, that feels weird to even say it, should maybe be legalized.
That's how you make money off comedy clubs 7 days a week.
Dude, could you imagine?
Crackhead Mondays.
Could you imagine, though, if you could serve items at a comedy show?
Oh, yeah. Methamphetamine Mondays.
Wow.
2 drug minimum.
Knowing Lawrence had a crippling meth addiction, I wonder what would have happened if it was that readily available.
He'd still be a feature act for sure.
Do you watch any of these local guys that are trying to make those jumps too? Because you're not alone. There's a handful of people right now who are trying to, they're making that, I want to do it.
Honest to God, when I opened for Michael in a special, I was like, oh, it's possible to make it out of Dallas.
Yeah.
I was looking at that packed theater. I didn't have a place to sit down. I'm like, okay, so you can't make it out of here. I watched Lawrence's special. I'm like, I love the quality of this. I'm like, I don't see why that couldn't go viral. It has all the formulaic stuff of it,
Yeah, I mean, and then Which, thank you. I mean, being involved with both of those, I really appreciate hearing that. But some of the other ones I look at too, like Mikey B got a lot of traction on his special.
Sure.
And, we all have like different approaches to what we think makes a well-produced whatever. But yeah, you wonder because he's a funny guy. He put it out there and he got some traction, and then things kind of plateau for everybody a little bit. And it's none of us really know what it means to take it past that plateau.
Sure.
But it feels like everyone's inching at it more and more and more. And it makes me feel very hopeful that there's going to be a class of people here in the next 5 to 10 years that kind of all do something. Because it things like people are really clawing at it,
Yeah, and there's a lot of talent in like the 28-year-old range right now where it's like, that's still like shooting range for like stardom. You can still be like, start like 32, so.
Yeah, but a musician asked me about comics the other day. He goes, do comics age out?
No.
And I was like, no, man. I was like, people like Rodney Dangerfield made it when they were older.
I'd even argue I'm too young to make it because no one wants to hear my political views about anything.
That's what I expressed to this musician.
Yeah.
I said, I think actually you need to be 40 or 50 to hit it big.
Genuinely, like
Nate
Bargatze. Like it's like you want to hear his thoughts about things, but like I don't really know Ralph Barbosa like that, but like he's
an exception. He's a younger person who was somewhat, he was prepared, but also kind of got picked in a way.
Sure.
He's one of those rare stories where it's like, I think you got something and we're gonna help.
But there's only so much you can talk about. The way he looks, he's kind of young, so it's like you kind of hit a little plateau if you hit it too.
At least
early.
with your fan base, right?
Yeah.
How many 50-year-olds want to buy tickets to watch Ralph? I bet he's got a much younger demographic.
Yeah, for sure.
What'll help him probably is aging with them.
Yeah, that's definitely the way to do it. Yeah.
And I'd love to hear his take on it now to see.
You gonna get him on the podcast?
I don't know, man. He's in the stratosphere now.
Yeah.
There's
something about comics, like they will always respond to like people that remember like the day one version of them. I'm a firm believer in that.
I mean, if I text, he'll text, but we were never close.
Sure.
We had a few interactions. He was on the podcast, bumping into him here and there. So it's not like we were on a texting level to begin with. So it's not one of those like, oh, he got famous and I can't get in touch with him. It's like, well, I never really was on a level to get in touch with him.
Yeah.
So let's see. He hit me up a couple years ago when he was talking about starting his podcast. And it's him and he's a stand. Oh God,
Jaime?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because Jaime, I think, since he works with like Bobby Lee and them, he's kind of got a knack for that as well. And it was not like, will you produce this show? It wasn't anything like that. It was, hey, we're doing this, and we were kind of wondering if you would just sit here just in case something went terribly wrong. We can have a person to like troubleshoot the equipment or something. And I was like, yeah, sure. And then, I still have a day job, so we couldn't get a schedule worked out.
Yeah.
And, so it's like, we're kind of on that level where it's like,
Yeah.
And then now he's probably got people for all that. So I'm not going to get a text for those things anymore.
Yeah.
But I always felt like, nice, polite,
Yeah, that's chill.
But what am I going to text him about? I mean, can you imagine how many people are hitting him up?
Oh, I know. I can't imagine.
And people who think they're really going to have a through road of, oh, you know what? I'll text him. We'll talk about this. I'll give it a couple weeks, maybe a month.
Yeah.
And maybe he'll like give me a spot.
Yeah.
Could you imagine hopefully by now you changed phone numbers.
Hopefully.
Right?
Yeah, hopefully.
Or you just leave that when you're like local phone.
Yeah. It's funny, like Shane Gillis talked about, he used to hit up Burt Kreischer for opening spots. He sent emails like, I think we mesh well material-wise. I think I can warm the crowd for you. I've sent that verbatim to people years ago. When you first start, you just don't know any better.
You got to take your shot, right?
I asked Theo Vaughn for a guest spot 5 years ago.
Wow.
At the peak of his fame. I was like...
Well, but all of them probably did that.
Exactly.
And they're not hating on you. They're just like, oh.
Yeah, he's going through that phase.
Okay.
That's
good
the
luck.
emo phase.
Good luck, kid.
Yeah.
No, when you realize like, hey, there's more to it. No, that's not going to work.
It's a lot.
Yeah. That's interesting phase. The same thing happens in music. You see a big band coming to town, you think like, I'll just hit them up.
Yeah.
It did work for us one time.
Really?
Yeah. We were a punk rock band, and there was a band called Rancid who is very popular in the punk rock community. They're like, they would be on like the Rolling Stones level in punk rock music.
Oh, wow.
They've survived for, I don't know, probably 20 to 30 years at this point. And we did this thing where we saw the head of that band owned a record label. The leader of that band owned a record label. And one of the bands on that record label was coming through from like Oklahoma City down to Houston. And we reached out and we're like, hey, we're in Dallas. We could put on a show if they want a headline, and we'll help hustle and move tickets, and then maybe they can have a stop between. We noticed y'all had an off day. And the label, they emailed back. They're like, oh, actually, no, they have something going on. No big deal, but thank you so much. Then it was like 6 months later. They were like, hey, Rancid's coming through Dallas. Do you want to open for him?
What?
I was like, so we're
That's
like,
amazing.
Well, we were doing that Warped Tour thing at the time.
Yeah,
So we're like, we are going to be in New Mexico that day, and this sucks, And we kind of told them that way, and they're like, well, they're also going down to San Antonio. We can throw you on that one if you want to do that one instead. And so we made it from El Paso down to San Antonio to play that show. Like,
wow, that's a drive.
We were able to do it, but it's like we had to make it work.
Yeah.
And it all started just from that little reach out of like,
yeah.
But I guess the difference was we were offering something.
Yeah.
We were trying to help.
Promote it. I love when people do the research, like, hey, I see an opening on this day. Let me work with you. It's not like, hey, when's your next avail? I'm like, good God, dude. Like,
yeah. But I was also too stupid back then to connect those dots.
Oh, yeah.
I was just like, they must have heard our songs.
They must have bought the CD.
They must have thought we were good.
Yeah. Oh, it's so funny the amount of times headliners, like, they get like a random guest spot locally.
Yeah.
And like, they're like, oh, we don't even watch it. They don't care.
Yeah.
They truly don't care. It's like, just have the 5 minutes, knock yourself out.
Well, and for you guys, so this band was, they are massively successful still. And, the huge tour bus. It was a very weird experience because the lead singer, who's the guy who makes the record labels, and he's a big name in this punk rock genre, Tim Armstrong. And he was doing things that were just so interesting that really kind of opened my eyes to like, man, not only are we in different worlds, but like this guy loves what he does.
Dang.
He's on a level of passion that I think I'm on, but I'm nowhere near, because he was always into making documentaries and movies about the things that are going on with this stuff. And not in like a cheesy, like, oh, this will be good content. It was like he just made stuff,
Yeah.
And we showed up, and again, we're in that weird van, and we've got stickers all over the back windows of all these punk rock bands we love and stuff, and his band being on there like multiple times on different stickers and stuff. He's going around with his video camera stuff. He's like filming our van. He opens up the back doors to our van, starts climbing in and filming, and we're like, Tim Armstrong's in our van. It's like, do we go say hi? It's like, don't say hi. Don't talk to him. And then when we were like about to go up on stage, he's up there with like an assistant. He's like, come on. It was like, everybody get around. We're taking pictures together. We're doing this, doing these things. We don't know him. We haven't had a conversation with him.
Yeah.
Not even a hello, nice to meet you. He's just doing his thing. And he did that the whole night, just filming stuff and all. And you realize like, God, that's why he's so good at this, is because there's no gimmick of, oh, this will be good for X, Y, Z. It's like, he's just passionate. He's probably just got files and hard drives of random shows that will never be used, just looking for something that interests him.
And the secret is, it doesn't feel like work to him.
No.
Like, he feels like he's playing around the whole day.
He looked like he was having just, this is my life.
That's how I know comedy.
Found
like
my passion,
Exactly. Like, I would listen to comedy podcasts all day, and I enjoy work talk. I enjoy thinking about new bits, like working new stuff. Like, it's never once I'm like, I should learn how to do this way so I can progress. No, it's like, it's just pure inquisitive nature, So
did that kick in? How many? You said you're about 6 years in now.
Yeah, probably.
When did you start recognizing that? Maybe
probably 3 years in.
Yeah.
First 2 years, I was like a 22-year-old kid getting hammered every night, like just like having fun. I didn't really have an act for like the first year. I would just like go up there and try my best, kind of thing.
Yeah. So about year 3 is when you felt like you turned it on a little more?
Yeah, year 2, I was like getting some success, and then year 3, I was like, I'm gonna move to Atlanta, see how I do in the East Coast, because they always say like urban crowds are the hardest crowds. I'm like, okay, let's see what it is. And then did 2 years there, and started getting festivals, and I was like, oh,
yeah,
that's when it really broke through for me that I can actually do this. Because the festivals, like, you submit to them, it's like they'll tell you like 400 people submitted, only we're selecting 20 people, and I got selected. Like I'd submit to like 10 festivals, get selected for like 8 of them. So I'm like, oh, so I'm like top something.
Yeah.
In like these markets, like,
yeah,
I'm definitely not a bum, So
yeah. Well, I'm sure you've seen too. There are these people who are funny, but they just don't get the back end side of like you need to respond to emails and things.
Oh yeah,
for sure. You're gonna get opportunities. So when they find someone who can do both, I'm sure that's like, hey, he's funny and he knows how to text properly.
Yeah, he'll show up on time.
He doesn't hit me up at 1:30 with a weird sentence asking if he can be on a show.
Yeah.
It's well, when you were saying everybody told you the urban crowds were harder, Who was telling you that? Was this people in Illinois?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Because it's a bunch of white people out there, so they're like, oh, but like urban, like that was like kind of like the era post Def Jam.
Yeah.
And it's like there's some truth to like urban crowds are harder to win over and stuff, but it's I just kept hearing that as like a trope, like a little stereotype.
So do you remember the first urban crowd stage you went in front of, and you've had all these people tell you like good luck, and how did you approach that?
Yeah, it was hard. It was a very
But what was going through your mind though? Were you thinking, oh my god, it's a mistake, this is not gonna work, this is gonna be too difficult, or did you have an approch that you felt like was gonna work?
I try to adjust my material for like, because they don't like personal stuff.
So
that's
you're like, hey yo, what's up?
Yeah. I got my gold Cadillac parked out front, Yeah, I remember it was at Monticello.
You just walk in, so what's up with white people?
Yeah. I remember the only joke that would work was like, I was like, dude, we can film Rush Hour together, like one of those like saves, But
oh man. No. Well, did the first one go okay?
Terrible.
Or was it was a learning experience?
I lost them immediately because I opened with some like harsh stuff. Like I was like a 25-year-old guy. I said a joke like the hardest working people are men that hate their families. Like they don't want to hear that from like a 25-year-old kid,
Yeah.
The joke is like, it's like in a job interview, you hire deadbeat dads. Like, what's the hardest day of your life? Or like, what's the best day of your life? It's like, oh, I don't know, Super Bowl, promote this guy. It's like kind of like that. But
do you look at a bit like that now and think, if I'm 10 years older, I could craft that into something better? Yeah.
I do it now, but just later in my set when I've earned the trust after like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
When clearly I'm just trying to make you laugh here.
Do you think just being even 3 years older lends you more credibility when you're trying to tell jokes like that?
I think so.
Because when you're looking at a 25-year-old talking about that, like we were saying earlier, a 30, 40, 50-year-old is just going to be like,
exactly.
What do you know?
Yeah, exactly.
What do you know?
Exactly. So I feel like urban crowds don't have that kind of tolerance. Like, what do you know? Like, why would you joke about that,
Mm-hmm.
They like the people that talk about their own lives, like, that's their subject matter. Like, I bombed so hard at a black crowd where I went home and watched Gary Owen videos. And I'm like, what is he doing differently? Like, I'm like, oh, he's talking about his divorce and like promoting black culture. Like, okay, I see what he's doing. Like,
yeah, and he's on another level, man. He's just so he feels so natural now.
Yeah, he has chops.
Have you seen his stuff lately? Even
phenomenal.
God, I mean, it doesn't seem like I know he does, but it doesn't even seem like he has material. It feels like he just goes up there and he's like just at a party holding court and just talking to people.
Yeah, he has chops for sure.
I was watching. I don't know if it's an older or a new one, but I was watching him talk about when he was a military police officer. Have you seen that?
I think so. Yeah.
And it's just those little details of like, oh, he's in the military. And he was a police officer.
Yeah.
Interesting. And like, I do love that the little tidbits you just all of a sudden I'm invested more into you.
See, that's a fun way to learn about someone like through their act.
Right.
Like I wouldn't want a Gary Owen vlog. I want him like be like, here's a day in the life of like me as what I used to do as police. No, I want to like learn through your jokes.
Yeah.
And like it's like a 2-minute chunk of just banger material. So
how long until you learned how to work that crowd better?
I feel like I'm getting there. I truly believe.
Still working.
Still working. Oh, you mean urban crowd?
Yeah, urban crowd.
Oh yeah. No, at the end of the Atlanta spree, I did a lot better. Yeah.
How long were you there again? I can't remember.
2 years.
2 years.
You just gotta have good jokes. Like on also serious, like you can't you gotta open with some safer stuff, like more palatable stuff. But that's most comedy audiences.
The people I've known who've gone to Atlanta for artistic endeavors like that, it's been a similar thing. They come in with this healthy fear.
Yeah.
Healthy. One of the guys I know, this guy Jonathan Hodges, his alter ego is a music thing called Bometheus. And he's a violinist, a guitar player. He's a multi-instrumentalist, songwriter, singer. He's very creative, and he's got kind of his own lane of music that's very interesting. But he was in Atlanta for a while, and I can't remember if it was his family or not, but maybe it wasn't Atlanta, but it was Georgia. But same thing, so all of a sudden they're very religious, so they're going from more structured white church to urban church.
Yes.
And they're getting involved with the music. And he's like, yeah, man, he's like, I went in there and he's like, I knew how to play, I knew what to do, but then it was just this lesson of how to play here.
Exactly.
And and he's like, it was all supportive, but it was very much like, you're not doing that, are you? Do this, and then his skill set just took off in a whole nother level.
It's chops.
Yeah.
I remember because I went to a rough set and like there are people in the front were like messing with you. Like they'd be like, They say that, but it's like you can't.
And you can't hear it 5 rows back.
Yeah, and you can't call it. So they're just messing with your beat. It's like, And I'm like, so that's in your back of your mind. And like they would bring me up. And also, I was a greener comic. So this could just be like a comedy, respect comedy thing. But like, you see a young Asian kid on the lineup, the host bugs be like, this next guy, I mean, he thinks he's funny. Give it up to noise like a Danny Tran. Like it's really uphill from there, you know?
Yeah. When they do that, are you coming out like high energy, like, hey?
I'm trying. I'm like goofy. I'm like, hey guys, like,
what's going on? Rush hour, right?
Yeah. The hardest working people are meant, yeah.
Yeah, that's I can picture it, man.
There's an urban crowd here, like Arlington Improv.
That's what I hear. That's one of the clubs I haven't been to, just because I'm scared. No, I'm joking. No, mainly it's just because I'm such a Dallas snob.
Yeah.
That I go from Dallas to Fort Worth, and I forget those mid cities are there sometimes.
Yeah.
And but I've been told time and time again, I got to go to Arlington Improv.
That is basically the Atlanta Improv. Like,
really, yeah.
I went there. I did a show there. I forgot all my Atlanta lessons learned because I showed up on time, and they started like an hour late.
Oh,
and I'm like,
you're kidding.
I swear,
I'm like, kidding.
Yeah, they started
That's
an hour late,
funny.
and the first opening act was a DJ. So I'm like, what do we do? It's like some guy freestyling.
This was at the Arlington Improv?
Yes.
Okay.
And then
was this a comic produced show, or was this
a and friends show?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a DJ comes up, and then like I'm like the second to last guy before the headliner comes on.
Ooh.
So I'm there for a long time. Everyone's running the light. There's no respect for the light, you know? And then everyone's dancing when they get on stage.
Yes. Oh my! I talked to Trey Mack about that. Because I was like, first of all, there's all these little inside like songs and stuff that I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's heavy into church.
Yeah.
So there's like all these church songs. He just starts singing like "In the River Rose," and then a whole crowd's got it, and they're now they're singing two verses, and I'm like, I don't know what's happening.
God is good all the time, right?
Yeah. And but yeah, you see that. I mean, the closest I had gotten to seeing anything that way might have been, Cat Williams.
Right.
When I was younger, where it felt like, okay, there's some punches I don't understand, but it sounds like it's hilarious.
Yeah.
And then, local people, it's like, I was on a show not on a show. I was at a show that Shed G produced.
Okay.
So he's on it. And a lot of the comics fit a similar thing. And yeah, it's like everybody had a song and moves coming up on stage. I was like, I guess this is the prerequisite,
And the material is like, you meet an old dude, like 50-year-olds wearing a suit, and he's like killing with material. It's like you can't even fathom saying.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, how you get a girl to like you? You put a grape in her butt or something. And people are like knocking over drinks. They're like,
and like just for the listeners, it's like he gave the most G-rated version just then.
Oh yeah,
of what they actually said.
Yes, dude. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, I'm looking at my set list. I'm like, they're gonna hate my observational jokes. There's no way.
You know who kills that I have seen that's that way, where she just blows you away every time. It's crude, unapologetic, but it's just hilarious.
Yeah.
Is Angela Walker.
Oh, yeah.
Angela Walker.
Yeah.
I don't know which one she goes by. But yeah, the first time I saw her, I had no idea what to expect anyway. And she comes out there with some of the filthiest stuff.
It's so crazy.
And she's just such a sweet looking woman while she's saying it too.
Yeah.
And you're just like, my God, how many different ways are you going to make that microphone look like it's been violated?
They're so creative. Like with like the stool. Yeah, it's just hilarious. Just humping the stool.
Well, I mean, did you ever watch any of those old Cat Williams specials?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I can't remember which one it is, but definitely probably his most popular one, where he's talking about the tiger that got out of the zoo and he's jumping onto the stool, holding himself completely off the ground. It's like, God, man, it's just a different style comedy.
Yeah.
Speaking of the DJ, he had a DJ break.
Of course.
In that special.
Yeah, this is the green suit special. This
Yes,
was
yeah.
iconic.
I think that was it. Something Chronic.
Oh, Pimp Chronicles.
Pimp Chronicles.
He brought up some famous DJ at the time. It was like a famous rapper.
Yeah.
Like 50 Cent or something.
I don't know. I don't remember who it was, but he's literally like dancing on stage and then he goes back into material.
Yeah, it's so
like, wow.
crazy.
And before that, again, I grew up in small town Texas here, so it was like, I think I like comedy. I've seen that blue collar stuff, that blue collar comedy with Mr. Jeff Foxworthy.
Mr. Yeah.
But wow. So I mean, have you, now that you are more experienced, do you feel like you want to go back to those rooms more?
I will for sure. Yeah, I have connections there. I will go back
because I feel like, once you get to where you're at now, that becomes a little bit of a cheat code where you're the different person on the show again. Yeah. And that can work to your advantage, right?
Exactly. Yeah, like fish out of water. That's always fun. But that only lasts for like 10, 15 minutes.
Not even fish out of water, just break from, I mean, it's like if you go to a certain comedy club, you know, in the neighborhood here, and it's like, yep, we're gonna see 6 white dudes.
Yeah.
You know, it's like just a break in the monotony.
Yeah.
You know? How many Uber jokes am I gonna hear today?
Yeah.
You know, that kind of stuff.
I wonder if they're sick of like the one white guy in the lineup making the black jokes, because I noticed that was like hacky in Atlanta.
Yeah. Well, you can't. I mean, you can if you're really good, if you're Gary Owen.
Right.
But no, I think it would be don't be anything like the other comics, and that's why it's going to be hilarious.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, you know, I think of a guy like Scott Crisp going up at a black club. It's like, I bet he does well just being himself.
Yeah.
You know, or why am I blanking on his name? He's been on the show. Tyler.
Tyler.
Oh my God. Sorry, I don't know why I'm blanking on this. I like this person a lot. My brain's fried with children and cars being stolen and all sorts of stuff now.
That 40-year-old's hitting you, man.
Yeah, he's out in Tyler, but he's in Tyler, Texas, but he works in Dallas all the time.
Oh, Jason McAdams?
No, Tyler Elliott.
Oh yeah, Tyler Elliott. Yeah,
Tyler. You know, him going up in front of that crowd with his low energy.
Yeah.
Low and like just. I would love to see that. To see, I mean, that's got to just look so hilarious when you've just seen high energy stuff nonstop.
Yeah,
and he comes up there and he's just like,
yeah. If they buy into it, yeah.
I wonder if they would.
Yeah, it could go both ways.
Did you see any acts like that in Atlanta?
Plenty. There's plenty of like white comics that are like kind of like Nate Bargatze-esque in Atlanta. Just like an observational, chill delivery.
Yeah.
And you just gotta like really, it really is a coin flip. It truly, I've seen it go both ways for the same person every time. So. Yeah.
Did we ever talk about the Apollo Theater? You're probably too young for that.
That used to be a big thing. Godfrey shooting a special there. That's all.
Yeah.
That's the most recent.
But you've never seen any like old Apollo episodes where it's live from the Apollo Theater.
No,
and Steve Harvey's hosting.
No.
And there's like a beautiful, you know, it's like when television had the beautiful model woman. And her name was Kiki Shepard.
No
so
clue.
she's wearing, you know, slim, like tight-fitting dresses, but they're like covering all the way down to the ankles, but it's like still showing everything. And it was a variety show. It was like an open mic variety show. So that you could juggle, you could sing songs, you could do something weird, whatever you wanted to do. But it was one of the most honest, ruthless, but rewarding shows. So you'd get on there and you have maybe 10 seconds before they turn on you. I mean, and they're booing. They're telling you to leave the stage. And literally somebody comes out with a big hook to like cheesy pull you off the stage. But they were true. Like if you had a talent, did not matter who you were, what you were.
Yeah.
If you had the talent, all of a sudden after that 10 seconds, they're like out of their seats cheering.
That's awesome.
Love every minute of it. But it was so fascinating. Again, from a small town in Texas, in the Apollo Theater, it's in New York, and you're watching this like, wow.
I miss situations like that where it's high stakes.
Yeah.
Because now you see like specials, like, I mean, everyone's getting specials now, you know? And I look back to like old Comedy Central stuff. It's like, dude, the gatekeepers of that era were like ruthless. So when you finally get your 30-minute set, you're doing like the tightest 30 you have in your life.
Yeah.
I'm seeing people write new 10s for like these like short special filmings. I'm like, no, I want to see like your best if like your life was in danger. Like, I want to see the best material you have.
I want to produce more of these things, and somebody talked to me about producing one shortly after Lawrence's, and I was telling them, you know, I'm trying to grow. I'm a fan of. So if I make these, I have a situation where it's still beneficial to them. They own their material. You know, if Netflix calls, you can re-record everything. I don't care. But this recording needs to go on YouTube, on my YouTube, because that's why it's going to be done where it's financially advantageous for you. You know, you're not spending money.
Yeah.
If it does make money, you're making more than me because I'm trying to grow my stuff, right?
Of course, yeah.
And they, funny enough, they referenced Ali Sadiq because I guess they had been in a situation where they had conversations with him. And he was like, you know, don't ever let anyone own any of your stuff. Own all your stuff, which is great advice. I don't disagree with that advice. And so I told them, I was like, well, yeah, that's good advice. If you want to go that route, that's wise. It's just this won't be a good fit. And I totally understand, you know. And they were like, well, what if you help me record this thing for my thing and I give you like this 20 minutes on your thing? I was like, I don't want your scraps.
No, yeah.
you know, I don't want your
exactly.
Yeah,
what it's
I don't want your spare material.
Yeah.
Like, you know, don't give me that. What are you doing? And so I had people kind of reach out in that sense. And then others, they were like, yeah, I want to do this. It's like, you know, it feels harsh when you're not a comic.
Yeah.
Saying,
oh yeah.
You know, it's not. You're not there because.
Well, it's your money.
Yeah, but you immediately think, my mind goes to, they must be thinking, like, what does he know?
Oh,
he doesn't
yeah.
do this, blah, blah, blah. And so I've definitely made a couple, I had people who were fans who are no longer because I just gave them polite, honest criticism.
Honest truth.
You know?
You got to get better.
I mean, I don't want to lie to you, but yeah, I think there's a lot of that around here where people think they're really good. It's like, hey, you were capable. You were capable of being really good, but this set's not it.
You know, one of the biggest days that changed my comedy thing, like maybe moved to Atlanta, was I opened for this guy in the Midwest, and I was like doing hacky stuff, like local stuff, killing though. And then the headliner comes like, "You're funny, but that will never travel." And I heard that, and I was like, he's like, I'm killing. What are you talking about? But he took me off my high horse. Yeah. And then hearing that made me revamp everything. I was like, I got to make jokes that travel.
Yeah.
Then I started sketching, how do I get to Atlanta? And then, so you got to have hard advice. It's
but you
good.
need that, right?
You need hard advice, yeah.
I think we might be shifting back to that, but my generation, everybody went to, shiny, happy feelings all the time.
Yeah.
And everybody's got their way and it's all good. And we were the generation of participation trophies and all that stuff. It's like, no, you need polite, harsh criticism all the time. All the time. It's the only way, I think that's why some of the comedy classes bother me, because I think the initial approach is great.
Yeah.
But then it all turns into we're all incredible. And this person's funny. This person's incredible. It's like, no. This person's starting.
Yeah.
They have a great idea of what they want to do, but they are not funny yet.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
And then those classes kind of turn into cliques who maybe get false confidence. Yeah. And then that turns into, when they're not getting opportunities, the amount of people I've heard who are capable of being funny, but they're not there yet. It's like what you were saying when you're in year 1 or 2. And it's like, yeah, I mean, you got a shot at being really funny, but you're like a year or 2 in, and no one expects you to be really good yet. So they assume the reason they're not getting shows is because, like, oh, they're just gatekeepers.
Yeah.
And it's like, maybe not, but also the more I see, the more I'm music and comedy, the more I think gatekeepers are very appropriate.
Yeah, you have to have standards.
I think gatekeepers are needed more now than ever, maybe.
Yeah, it's a merit society.
Yeah. And find the gatekeeper that you mesh with in terms of style, right? It's like there's people who want to be on clean comedy shows, and there's people who want to be on Kill Tony. It's like, learn your path, but I think I'm more and more pro gatekeeper.
Gatekeeper.
The longer I'm doing this podcast, I want more gates.
I'm with you, because it's a test at the point of time. Like, it's a lot of my peers, they get rejected from the festivals I get in. They're like, oh, these gatekeepers. I'm like, I don't know these guys. I never met the guy in Kansas City booking this.
Yeah.
Maybe you just need a better tape.
Right? Okay, so, you've achieved a few things outside of comedy in your life. So, a lot of it is just showing that you will put in the work and do it.
Right.
A lot of it is showing, like, I showed up at the time, practice was this time and I was there.
Literally,
that kind of stuff. And a lot of the people not getting opportunities don't want to accept that it's like, hey, you're like crazy unreliable and you're funny 50-50.
Yeah, some people have very low floors. That's something no one talks about. Like, I'm watching these acts, like sometimes they hit home runs, but they strike out a lot too.
Yeah.
It's like, you should be able to be a medium floor, high ceiling comic. A lot of people watch their act. It's like, I want to ask them, like, would you pay money to see yourself? And they never can say the truth. They're like, no, I'm pretty funny. I'm like, no, but would you pay $20 on a Friday night? You take your girlfriend out to see you. It's like, there's no way.
Why don't you go ask 20 people you know today if they will come out next week and spend $20 to watch you? And see how many of them are busy.
Seriously.
You know? And don't go, oh, they're just busy. Take it as like, they told me they were busy because they don't want to come.
Exactly.
Because that's really what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, with Pazvar's show, it's like, we moved some tickets by promoting it on the podcast, but the majority of it is he has built up fans now who want to watch him.
He's earned it, man.
And he's not berating them to watch him every week. He's waiting. He's like, this is a show that I want y'all to come to.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's taken him a long time to build that.
A long time.
We were talking about Paul Varghese. When I wasn't doing this podcast. A friend of mine is Paul's cousin. And I was just talking to that friend about comedy. I just started going to more stand-up comedy shows. This is probably like 2011 11. And I was like, I found out about like local comedy. I've been going to these shows because before that, I thought anyone on, a Hyenas lineup must have flown in from another city and they're famous. Wow, we're watching famous comics.
The host must be rich.
Yeah.
The host must be making a living.
Is he on Conan?
Yeah.
And anyway, and so then I learned like, no, these are local and there's these things. And then she told me, she's like, oh, my cousin does comedy. I'm like, oh, like he's trying to do comedy? And she's like, no, like he like tours with like big, huge, like Russell Peters. And I was like, oh, okay. So then, was kind of an acquaintance with Paul through that. And then Paul and I got to know each other and hang out a little bit. But watching him work a room of people who were there to see his show or after the show. And it wasn't this whole like, okay, so the way you get fan base is like work the room,
Yeah.
He genuinely was interested in meeting these people.
Loves it.
And I'd watch him, we'd go to a bar after a show or something that he just did, and somebody would come up, hey, Paul, and he'd be like, hey, and he'd like know the names.
Knows the name.
And he like remembered them, and he's like, yeah, so like 3 weeks ago, we all went to this thing, and it's like, he really likes this.
He loves it, man.
Loves it, And just seeing that kind of, even though he enjoyed doing it, you could tell he was very aware that this is like part of the hustle. If you want to, like this is the real marketing rather than just making a Facebook post or something.
Yeah.
And it was incredible watching that, but it was on another tier of effort.
Because I'm in like the middle ground of it. Like I have a mailing list now.
Yeah.
And I people enter the email and zip code in, and then I blast that when I headline in their city. And those convert to ticket sales at a high rate.
Yeah.
But it's like his is like an in-person mailing list, basically, like physical connection.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna like check on him before he has to reach out to them. Like that's the kind of connection he's made. So
yeah, I'd love to see him hit a. I'm ready for. I don't mean this in a negative way. Like just, I knew Paul then, and I know his style now. I feel like there's this extra layer of Paul that none of us know about.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because his life has just changed in so many
Yeah.
ways. I would love to see whatever that next layer is into his act, into his whole personality on stage and everything, and then see, what would it be like if he was working that room again now? Older, wiser, funnier.
Yeah.
I don't know, because he's still good. He's gotten better.
Yeah, he's the one comic that always shared the standard with me 5 laughs per minute. And he's like, his old specials, he would listen to it.
5
make sure,
laughs per minute.
5 laughs per minute. Every 12 seconds. Well, I guess over a minute be 5 laughs. Could be like a rolling punchline.
Sure.
But it's like, he had that standard. I'm like, oh, I got to level up my thing.
Interesting. Yeah.
Like, now I look at my jokes. I'm like, that's 10 laughs. That's 2 minutes. Instead of like, oh, that's like a 3-minute joke. No, that technically is a 2-minute joke that you have to have that standard though the whole way. So
yeah. Because when you watch him now, he's just relaxed. It's all effortless. He knows what he's doing up there.
Yeah.
I would love to see some of these more veteran guys who just know what they're doing all the time. I'd love to see them get back into deep water somehow. I don't know what it means to do that, but to see a little bit of the just stretching out beyond your comfort zone. It's like, I wonder what Paul looks like on his heels these days.
Right.
I haven't seen that ever. I would love to see that now.
Yeah.
I'm sure some comic has seen him at a weird bar show or something, but I haven't.
I know, yeah. Because usually he's like closing. It's like a hot spot,
Yeah,
so
and he's earned it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been doing it. I think he's 20-something years now, right?
Yeah. I'd love to pay to see like a headline like Mark Norman at like a terrible bar show. Like I want him to see like Palestine, Texas with me, like opening. That'd be so.
That'd
cool
be fascinating.
That'd be cool to watch.
He's one of the ones who probably actually would do it because I see him on his social media. He takes weird shows,
dude,
all the time.
He must hate his wife, dude.
But
he's doing everything and anything.
But part of me feels like that's what keeps him so sharp.
Yeah, for sure.
Because he's so witty all the time.
Yeah.
And those little shows, right? Talking about Paul Varghese, like working the room doing all that. Okay, Mark Norman doing all these shows. What do you think his numbers are on Instagram?
Million, easily.
Let's check it out because he's not. He's famous, but he is not a household name.
I bet you it's 1 million.
I bet. Let's see. Old Marky Norman. 1.5.
He's a very volume kind of guy.
1.5.
Yeah.
But these people who think it's all post, like post this, post that, post that. It's like, I don't know. I think it might be, I'd love to ask him, but I think it might be because he is like, yeah, I'll go to Tyler, Texas.
I agree.
I'll do it. Yeah, I'll go to this. I'll do that. Sure. Let's do it. Like the way a comic would take all these shows in the past, he just kept doing like he's running around like he's an open micer sometimes.
He's the only millionaire working Tuesdays. I'm like, how are you still adding shows on a Tuesday?
Yeah. I mean, Yeah, what do you think that is? He seems on. I listen to his podcast sometimes, and he seems very happy in his marriage. They have a child together. Like it seems like it's going well.
I don't know. I hear little slight comments he makes. He's like, she really want to get married. I had to say,
yeah, but he seems like a very strange guy who's, doesn't know a lot of etiquette to begin with.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
He's rough around the edges.
Yeah.
I heard a little bit of his background, and was raised very strange.
Oh yeah,
sure,
so
I could see him just being like. People would probably label him as autistic, but he's probably not.
No,
he's just, But he's got those quirks of social norms.
Yeah. When I first started, I was copying him tremendously.
Really?
Yeah, because I started in the 2020 era when his COVID special took off. And I would always do like, comedy, huh? Like I'd rip him off so much. And then one day my friend was like, dude, that's Mark Norman. What are you doing? I was like, yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
You're like, these people don't know that.
Yeah. And they really didn't. But it was
been
22 years desperate for a laugh.
Yeah, I've heard some local people here doing the I'm so bad with names. He wears the trucker hat, glasses, long hair, Tennessee. Dusty Slay. I've heard a few people here locally doing the we're having fun.
We're having a good
time. We're having fun here. And it's
it's a tick. Yeah.
You need to cut that out. But I don't know. Do you think, let's say your plan goes like you want it to, like we hope it goes, headlining, and let's say you just grow to Mark Norman status. Do you see yourself taking the Random Tuesday show to stay sharp?
Honest to God, I told my wife my ideal life is every other weekend hitting the road. So I don't think a Tuesday, because I have passions. Like I love fitness.
Yeah,
I used to love jiu-jitsu, training that. Like I want to make time for that. I think there's enough weekends in the year where I can hit all the markets I want without doing a Tuesday.
How deep do you think you'll have to get in though before you can be rewarded with only every other weekend?
I know.
How much in the trenches and I've got 40 shows this month. You know, how deep are you gonna have to go?
Like for example, I'm headlining Oklahoma this month. It's on a Thursday, so I'm driving up Thursday morning. So it's like it's so tough. Like when you first in my stage, you have to do the one-nighters.
Yeah,
like a Wednesday or Sunday that no one wants to take. So I think I'll just pay my dues. I think I will be in the trenches for a little bit.
Do you think if you're gonna headline on a Thursday, you're gonna try to find a small show on a Friday before you come back? Like, do you think you'll do things like that, or is it going to be, I'm going to do my show and come home?
I looked at the Friday thing, and then it's like the hotel to stay and the money from the show. If you're not headlining, it's not worth it.
So on a Thursday, are you going to drive up and back?
I've done
same day?
Way worse,
Woo!
man. Yeah.
Okay,
way worse.
Frugal.
Yeah, I know, frugal. It's like
just be careful on the drive back. Pass by the casino. Don't stop.
Oh, dude. I remember I did a show in Oklahoma, and then my in-laws lived in McKinney at the time, and I didn't want to get a hotel. So my show ends at like 11 p.m. in Oklahoma, and I was like, I'm going to make it in McKinney. I was driving, it was 2 a.m., and you start hallucinating.
Yeah.
You start seeing like hogs on the side of the road, like jumping in your car, like, oh God, and you start shaking. And I remember I had to pull over and like call my wife. She would ask me sports trivia questions to keep my brain like going to wake it up.
That road hypnosis is wild. I was telling you before we were on the mics about how we hopped on that Warped Tour thing like we weren't supposed to. The wild part of that is there was the stops were always, back to back. So we're here Monday, on Monday we're in this city, Tuesday we're in another city, and everyone drives overnight to the next city.
Yeah.
You got to be there in the morning.
Yeah.
And so every night was a 6-hour overnight drive.
It's in the dark. It gets you.
Yeah, man. And we're just, we had this system where we would each drive. Our van was so crappy that we didn't take it above, 60 because we were very nervous that the only time we took it above is when we had that Rancid show and we had to go from El Paso.
Yeah.
And we're going through the hill country around San Antonio. And so on the downhills, we're like trying to fly at like 80 because it's like barely making it on the uphill at like 50,
Wow.
And it was overheating by the time we got there. It was horrible. But we would do this thing where we're like, okay, if we drive for 120 miles, that's 2 hours. So we'll each take a 2-hour shift and then we'll switch and sleep. And even just that 2 hours, you're like, whoo, everything's getting weird right now.
Man.
Yeah.
The craziest one I had was I did the Plano Festival.
Yeah.
Friday night, 10 p.m. was my slot. I was opening for Lord Moore Genasi or whatever. I do really well at 10 p.m. I go to sleep. I have to wake up at 3 a.m. to go to Lubbock for my brother-in-law's graduation. So I'm driving, because you have to make it in the morning.
You're starting at 3 a.m.
3 a.m., get there, graduation, same day travel back.
Oh, God.
Because I'm not staying the night there. And then the Sunday, I had to do Best of the Fest, because I was chosen for Best of the Fest for the festival.
Yeah.
It's like a 1 p.m. brunch show. So I do like 20 hours of driving, basically.
My gosh.
Yeah. Sit through a graduation,
I hope they were thankful that you came to that graduation.
Yeah, they got me lunch, I guess.
They gave you the whole. They were like, "Oh, good to see you."
Yeah,
good
to see you.
You knew.
Oh,
you knew.
But that's the life of like a family man comedian. It's just what you got to do.
Yeah, and it's better to have that balance. Like, it's better to be a little tired and go to the things.
I agree.
And, than to go
miss it.
Yeah, it's too far.
Yeah. I started skipping my family holiday parties, and like I'm feeling a little guilty. I'll be honest with you, but it's like I'm just so burnt out with like comedy. It's so hard to really chase this thing.
This is why your mom's getting mad.
Probably is.
She's like, comedy's pulling him away from the family functions now. He's not even showing up.
Yeah, dude. I'm just leaving I'm like a deadbeat son now. I'm just like sending cards. I'm like, enjoy.
What do you think it's going to take to get her on board?
I had hope recently. My dad in the background was like, I think he's onto something. Because my dad like follows me on social media now. He sees the clips and like he's not bad. Like And then she's like, yeah, see it through. He's 28. He's made it this far without help. Let's see it through.
Yeah. You're not hitting him up for money or anything.
Never.
You're not stealing gold from him.
Yeah. Taking a plane back to the Vietnam Funny Bone.
Yeah. It'll probably take you having a big fat check that somehow finds it to her way, and she's like, from comedy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, okay.
She doesn't really care about the festivals. Like, I opened for David Cross. She's like, she doesn't know who David Cross is, so they don't care.
Yeah.
But I think when money starts coming in, they'll start seeing it.
Yeah, I mean, because the festival stuff, that just looks like you're still... we know different, but to an outsider, that looks like, what is he goofing off for?
I know, like...
He's just going to festivals?
Yeah,
what?
Yeah.
And then you have to go, you have to explain it all. It's like I was telling you, I gotta buy a new car. Okay? I'm probably going to get a truck. I'm probably going to get a bigger one than I had.
Yeah.
And it's impractical, okay?
Yeah.
And we were looking at, there's a Subaru Outback. And I was like, this is a practical car, gets great gas mileage. It's going to be very affordable to get. This is what we're probably going to do, And then we went and test drove one, and it was like,
Really? Okay.
And we owned a previous Subaru.
Yeah.
It was a great car. And I recommend Subarus to people. I'm like, they run forever. They're awesome. But I was like, I just feel like every time, like it's like the festivals to your mom. Every time I tell someone I bought this Subaru, I'm gonna be like, they're gonna go, what did you get? Oh, I got a Subaru Outback. Yeah. Yeah, well, financially it makes sense. It's economical. It was in a cost range that worked. Like, you always have these qualifiers.
Yeah.
And that's what you have to do to her with the festival. You're like, no, so you do these because you're trying to get a thing and blah, 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 blah. And she's like, okay.
It's long term, yeah.
Sure, and that's going to last, potentially, you could be doing that for 10 years?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Yeah.
It's tough, man.
This is what you want to do?
I know, it's tough to explain to her. I remember I used to have, like, when I was in college or high school, they opened a bank account for me. So they could, like, see my stuff the whole time. I remember once when they called me, they're like, you went to Arkansas for $50? And I was like, yeah, it's good host work, man. Come on.
Which, by the way, the two different upbringings, right? So I'm thinking, wow, they opened an account. That's so nice.
Yeah.
And you're like, so they could keep track of me.
Yeah. I wish they tracked my location. They're tracking financial.
Yeah, they're just seeing, like, is he screwing up?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh, man. Well, I mean, look, I think it's the right move. I think if you're going to do something, if anything's ever going to happen, you got to take a leap. It's so, you're on the right path. Now,
I believe in it.
Now all it is just writing your jokes and keep getting better, right?
And honestly, reframe my mindset. My wife said it's going to happen, so start talking about like it's going to happen.
Oh, she's one of those, like, we got to manifest.
I'm a big Tony Robbins guy,
Manifest.
Dude.
Hey, I mean, can you argue with the results?
Dude, exactly. Like, it's like you keep saying you're not going to make it. You're probably not going to make it.
Listen, I'm going to send you a copy of an old school Tony Robbins thing called The Secret. Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah, I know The Secret.
You know The Secret?
Yeah.
All right, crack it open, man.
That's not Tony Robbins. That's someone else.
I know it's not Tony Robbins. I'm saying, I think that was pre-Tony Robbins.
Yeah.
And it was like pre-internet, so we're all reading it like, that's all it is.
Yeah.
It gave me a vision
I love
board.
that book. Yeah. I used to love the McGregor, Conor McGregor, like manifesting stuff like that, so I was one of those guys.
It's hard to, it's easy to argue the logic when you're talking to losers.
Yeah.
But when you see a champion at something or
Literally.
a wildly successful, it's like, I love to make fun of Scientology. Yeah. I think it's dumb. It's so stupid, and I would never, ever join it. Mm-hmm. But I don't think I could ever say that to Tom Cruise.
No.
He's like, it's like,
yeah.
It might have worked for him.
Yeah. Dude, I used to watch McGregor interviews all the time. I was the cockiest white belt in Illinois. I was like, I'll choke on anybody, truly.
I mean, yeah, because, well, and if you're him, didn't you earn the cockiness?
Exactly, yeah.
There's only maybe, 20 people in the world that could, humble you?
Exactly. Yeah.
In the whole world.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe more. Let's say there's 100 people in the world that could humble you.
Yeah.
100 and there's 8 billion.
You deserve to say what you want to say.
Pretty cocky,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, for sure.
God, I've been obsessed with these. I'm not even a big UFC guy, but I love watching all the Sugar Sean O'Malley stuff.
It's fascinating.
Such an entertaining guy and such a different attitude for someone who's vicious. You know? And there's that great clip. There's a great clip where he's on somebody's podcast, somebody's show. And of course, like the question all these UFC people get, like, you know, you think maybe I could take you? And he's just like, no, not a chance, you know? And he's like, you don't think I could even, you know, 10 seconds? And he's like, probably not. He's like, I would just choke you out. And he's like, yeah, but I got that dog in me. And he said this, just such a poignant, like only a killer would know this. And he goes, it doesn't matter what you have in you when you don't have oxygen in you.
So good.
It's like, oof.
It's so real.
Oof. It's like, that's a guy who knows he can kill you. And then he just, how big do you think he is?
He's 135.
135?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm overweight, but I'm 209.
Yeah.
5'11". He's probably a little shorter than me.
Yeah.
Right? At that weight, there's no way he's my height. And just knowing that my weight really wouldn't serve much for me against him.
My friend, he's a black dude, can dunk, 6 foot, probably 185.
Yeah.
He really believes he can beat the women's champion at 125. He's like, see, people that don't train, their gear's always like,
How big is he again?
like 6 foot, 185.
His only tactic would be smother, right?
I'm like, you would have to grab her and slam her on her head and knock her out.
Yeah.
Because you start grabbing her, she's going to take you to the ground and like out grapple you, you know?
It would be interesting to see, but you would also know, like, well, that's a competitive fighter, so they would know that's your angle.
Yeah.
They would be thinking, all I've got to do is avoid that.
But he's always like, dude, I got that dog in me, though.
Sure. And just, like, I'm assuming you got to, like, roll around and spar a little bit.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So, you know, it's like, I was an athlete. You know, I've run these marathons. Even though I'm fat, I can, it's like, I can run.
Yeah.
But how long is a round in UFC?
3 minutes.
3 minutes of throwing punches with adrenaline and just bouncing with adrenaline. 3 minutes of just twitchy.
Oh, yeah.
Are you gonna, you know, whereas she's gonna be calm.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna be twitchy the whole time, burning energy, wearing yourself down, and then you're gonna slip.
Oh, yeah,
And
for
it's,
sure.
You know, and so it's like all she's really got to do is bounce around and tire you out for a little bit.
Exactly.
Get you so worked up that you make a wrong, you know.
And you take one kick to the quad, and it's like, your body goes in a panic.
That's one of those things where I want to feel it, but I don't want to feel it. But you just want to know, like, is it that bad? And then you see these
It's pretty bad.
tough people who can't hang.
The really hard part was like, so you can check a kick. It's where like they block it with their kneecap kind of, and like it like hits their shin, and it really hurts you, the kicker. So I got my kick checked once, and that messed up my psychology of kicking. Because your body's like, don't throw any more kicks there,
You're
dude.
scared to throw it.
Yeah, you're like, dude, you're going to get hurt. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
you have to get over that mental hump. So a lot of people don't realize that until they actually fight once.
What level's a white belt?
Is
that very beginning?
If you joined the class, we'd be partners.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I was white belt 2 stripes, so I was training.
Well, you know, my son's 5. I really want to get him into something like that.
Yeah,
you know, because again, we grew up kind of poor, so those things weren't options.
Right.
You know, and I don't. You know, I don't want him to know how to fight, right? You want him to know how to defend himself.
Yeah.
And so the grappling aspect is what I really like, because I was like, well, you know, if you ever did have a bully in school or something, it's a different phone call to be like, you know, if he's a boxer, to be like, yeah, so he like beat the crap out of this guy. He's bloody. There's a broken nose.
Yeah.
And then there's just something that's way more cool about like, yeah, so he held him down on the ground until a teacher came over.
Yeah.
It's like, what? Yeah, he's not hurt. He's really embarrassed. He's very upset. It's technically fighting, but
Yeah. It's great.
You know, knowing that you could just, I mean, what's more dominating to just be able to hold you and you can't move?
Because he's in control in that
Just
situation.
be like, hey, calm down, fella. Calm
Seriously.
down.
Yeah. It's funny because that's good for like kids, but then like you get older, you don't even want to go to the ground.
Yeah.
Because you get guys like kicking your head, probably like, you know, it's.
Well, and that he had a little thing. I'm coaching his Pee Wee basketball.
Oh, that's real,
dude.
That's stressful,
dude. You know, the kids are, all of it's great, but you're just like,
it's a lot.
Whew, I wish there was a perk other than being involved in it with my son.
I know.
Because it's very stressful and it's super weird with other people's children. You know, your part. You know, it's like just very strange because there's sometimes where you want to talk to them like they're your kid.
Yeah,
you know, when they're not listening or something, and they're 5-year-olds, so
I
they're constantly distracted. But anyway, what were we talking about? We were talking about UFC, blah blah blah. Oh, he was being a little bit of a bully. because at school he goes to this after school program where he's around older kids, and older kids are acting tough and all that kind of stuff. And so I saw him having this like little walk, like this swagger, and really got on my nerves.
Yeah.
And he was one of the kids on the team. We were coming in to do the huddle where you do like the 1, 2, 3, say the team name, blah, blah. And he was like kind of like blocking this kid, like he was trying to be a tough guy. I like really didn't like that. And I tried to have this conversation with him of, hey, if you're a bully, you're being a bully. And if you keep doing that, there's always somebody bigger and tougher and who might not like bullies. And they might come over and hurt you because you're acting that way, Trying to talk to him about like, you're starting to do things that could have repercussions.
Sure.
And so I was kind of showing him, I was like, try that with me. And he's like, well, and we're in the house, so I like knock him on the couch.
Yeah.
And he's like kind of jarred a little bit. And I was like, and I wasn't even trying.
Yeah.
He's like, what? And I was like, and I really love you.
Yeah.
I was like, I care about you and love you. And I was able to do that to you. Imagine if I didn't
That's awesome.
like you.
Yeah.
And he's like, you kind of see it. So I also really want him to get into something like jujitsu or wrestling or something, just to see, hey, people are really tough, really tough, and some of them are way tougher than you, and you don't want to do that.
You got to tell them like
you don't want to do that.
Yeah, I used to steal from Iranians all the time.
Yeah.
Like,
listen, man, I was very close.
Don't mess with me.
That guy definitely knew something. I don't know where Krav Maga's from. Maybe he knew that.
Yeah.
But I mean, especially nowadays, it's like, man, trying to be, doing something where you're tough. Okay, you're tough, but you're not really ever going to put yourself in a situation to exercise that.
Exactly.
And so I'm really thinking jiu-jitsu would be great, but I thought maybe I'll start them in wrestling because everybody was saying if you have a good wrestling foundation, that jiu-jitsu becomes easier.
That's very true, but wrestlers are psychos. I'm a firm believer in that.
Yeah, that's true.
Wrestlers are some of the craziest people.
Yeah.
I used to drink with wrestlers back in Illinois.
Really?
Because we would train at the same gym.
Oh.
We would go out to have a couple drinks. They would always be fighting at the bar.
So they were looking for it.
Always like,
okay,
but like with themselves. Not trying to start trouble.
Okay.
They like, oh, you think you're fucking tough? Yeah, it's like, yeah.
Okay, I can get down with that though.
No,
like,
but
if you're just fighting with your buddies, if you're not causing problems with strangers.
No, they don't cause trouble with strangers.
Okay, that's a kind of crazy I can get behind.
But it's like you're trying to have a good time. They're trying to double leg you. It's like, what are we doing here? There's women here, dude.
Hey man, I'm just thankful they've all got the ear, so I know not to mess with them.
Yeah.
I'm just thankful they've got that little sign where it's like, all right, I'm gonna leave you alone. It's like I mess with people. I don't mess with people anyway. But
yeah.
Okay, so wrestlers are crazy.
I think jiu-jitsu is good for the kid. Honestly.
Yeah, but then I also wonder, am I going to take them some? There's two types of classes I get worried about.
Yes.
One is the guy who thinks he's an expert.
Yes.
And he has no idea what he's talking about. And he's just teaching children stuff. And then the other one is the guy who's like, we only make champions here. It's like finding that middle ground where it's like, hey, man, I don't know if he's going to excel.
Yeah.
We just want him to get a little tougher, learn some moves, have some discipline, follow instructions.
You can find the middle ground. It's hard to lie about jiu-jitsu like that.
Do you have a gym here?
I don't train here yet, no. But it's hard to lie about, like, it's very hard. You get like a blue belt to challenge the black belt. If the blue belt wins, there's like a lot of questions can be asked there.
Yeah, but it would be hard to lie to me. I have no idea.
Yeah.
My UFC experience was when I was a bartender at Buffalo Wild Wings and we had UFC night. That's my UFC experience,
awesome.
And whatever Rogan says when I'm listening.
Yeah. You can get any jiu-jitsu practitioner and he'll tell you they're frauds or not.
All right. Well, I'll bring you with me. I'll be like, tell me if this is a good teacher for my son.
My buddies, white belt 2 stripes.
That's when I find out you're a fraud. You're like, I've actually never taken a single class.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I've taken up enough of your time, man. I appreciate you coming on. What were the shows again? One more time, the headline shows.
Yeah, one more time. Edmond, Oklahoma, February 26th. I got Dallas in Stomping Ground Comedy Theater, April 25th. Got Waco in July. And then Houston is on August 8th.
All right. So if you made it this far in the episode, you got to buy tickets now.
Come on out. DannyTranComedy.com.
Take a road trip somewhere, watch a show. And man, best of luck with 2026 going all in on it.
Same for you. Thank you so much, man.
The I'm a Fan of podcast, music, comedy, and more.